What's going on, everybody? I just spilled a bunch of water on myself as the countdown was going. It's so funny. I had everything prepped like half an hour ago, and then I hit go live, and I'm waiting, and then about 3 minutes into the countdown, I realized, I didn't hit the live button. And then right when that happens, I reach over, grab my water bottle, and drink it, and realize I didn't thread the thing on top, so it started pouring all over me. It's just been one of those mornings. I was up late last night working on a couple of workbenches for the garage for the CNC machine we built on stream like a month and some change ago now. It doesn't have a dedicated space, so I've been swapping, moving it up, moving it down, moving it up, and it's been a pain. And so finally building a dedicated space for it, but I have never really done woodworking. And so I was up probably till about midnight in the garage drilling. I got all the sawing done before it was too late, but just it took so freaking long. And then I got up this morning before it got hot and continued. So anyways, I'm excited that today we are going to be printing. Today is the last stream for the RatRig build series. It is completed, and we'll go over that in just a moment here. How's everybody doing? What's going on? Jose, I know you were here towards the end of last week's stream. Delmar, Mr. Jada from Norway, what's going on? Thomas, Kaser, Pie's here. Aaron, Lisa, Cooker, Viking was nice and early. Red, John, Mitchell, how's everybody doing? My brother's here too, Chilnik, hi. Skydown, man, a lot of people here today. So, yeah, today is the last video on this. Last week, towards the end of the stream, we were working on the wiring, which took a lot longer than I expected. A big part of that is that the instructions sort of just kick you off. Let's look at it for anyone that wasn't here. Let's see. There we go. Okay. Also, before we get much further, thank you to Fabrico for sponsoring the V-Minion kit. If anyone is interested, there is a $25 off coupon in the description for the full kit, and it's supposed to be good through the build series, which today is the last day of that, so I don't know if if Fabrico is ending it today or if it's going to go a little bit longer, but if you are interested, it is $25 off, which is cool because it's, you know, a spool of filament or something like that. And links are in the description. But yeah, so last week we finished up the toolhead assembly. We were almost done, but the week before I had broke this little fan shroud, not fan shroud, it's just a cover really. And so we installed that. We finished up the X-axis belt tensioning, which was fairly quick overall. And then the electronics. This was the meat of what we did last week, which was building this side box, which I don't want to say it was difficult, but it was quite tedious. There's just the RatRig, I guess the new Toolhead 3.0 uses heat inserts, but this version and the RatRig in general uses a lot of pockets for nylon lock nuts and regular nuts, and it's just kind of tedious getting them all pressed in. So I mean, there was just every part had a ton of them. And so we got this completely done on stream, if I remember correctly, at least all this mounted. RatOS was interesting. So it requires a 16 gigabyte micro SD card, but they don't include that. And 16 gigs, in my opinion, is a pretty large micro SD card. Most of my printers are using like 4 or 8 gigs. So the one 16 gig I had, we tried installing RatOS, didn't work. We then reinstalled it and didn't do anything different, and it magically worked. But RatOS has been pretty cool, and I'll show you guys that too. It's basically their version of Mainsail that they've modified to sort of make some things automated, which is kind of neat. Yeah, we got power supply mounted, and then so this just took a while. And then we got to the wiring yesterday. Which this is all you get for the wiring. This is it. Just this picture. There's nothing. There's nothing at all. Let me see. I think there's a bigger photo. There's nothing at all as far as routing anything goes. And so a huge chunk of the let's go side cam really quick here. Hey, Dan's here. No TV yet, Dan. I almost got one. I saw that someone on Twitter, I follow like Amazon Deals, I don't know, it's not the name of the Twitter, but they posted that there was like a 32-inch Amazon TV for 120 bucks. And I almost got it, but I did not. Hey, Tuna. Hey, Dutch is here too. Thomas. You didn't miss anything yet. Just going over kind of last week and what went into everything. So the wiring, not that it was difficult really, just not knowing what to do was the most difficult part. So there is like little zip tie slots built in down below and up here, and I didn't see these ones down below or know they even existed. And so originally I was taking all the wires and going over the top of the X axis, and after I started doing that I was like, wait a minute, what are these down here? And so let me turn this so I can show you the way I ended up routing it. I'm quite happy. Let's see. I don't know how well you can see that. So yeah, I have them, they're going underneath, they're zip tied on there, they go up this, and I'm quite happy with the way the wiring ended up. Then we sleeved it up. You can't see that because I zoomed in too much. The X-axis motor, we ended up getting that into the sleeve here. What else? And then the rest, I actually had a little bit of wire cover left over from the V0, which ironically was green and black, which is perfect. And I had just enough. So I have one going from the, what is this? The Z-axis, it's just the single wire, the Z-stepper. And then I have one going from the bed. The bed is routed through the bottom here. Let's see if you can see it. Nope, that's not what we want. It goes, so the motor and stepper motor and limit switch go through here. You can't really see it, it's quite dark. But it's not that it was difficult. It's just that it was, I didn't know, right? Like there was no instructions. So it's just like, and even if they don't, like some of the stuff might seem kind of obvious. Like I know when I built the RatRig, the V-Minion, I installed this bracket down here that has zip tie slots and one other. So maybe they're just thinking some of it's obvious, but a little bit of at least tips would make a huge difference. And so that was why it really took a long time. And then something I found kind of interesting, and something like probably the only thing, because so much of this kit is really well thought out, right? Like I'm quite happy with it overall, but Tom, the workbenches look solid. Thank you. It's been kicking my butt, man. Woodworking, I tell you what, it's, we have a Corolla, so I went down to Home Depot and I can fit exactly 10 8-foot 2x4s in my Corolla and close the trunk. And then I got a 2x8 piece of ply cut down into 2x4s. No, 2x8. It was a 4x8 and I got it chopped down to 2x4s. But yeah, I've been working on that and I'm really happy with how it's turning out. It just needs casters. You got it look clean. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the end result. Hey, what's up, JP? Squirrel Brain, what's going on? Hey, Jerry Sem's here. Man, so many awesome people. Happy Wednesday, everyone. So, oh God, I'm brain farting. I was talking about wiring. Yes, so 760, I don't think is in chat right now. He mentioned to me that he fried his board because the limit switch, can I zoom? Yeah, yep. Because he put the limit switch in incorrectly. And there is a warning here. Warning, check your cables, incorrect end stop wiring can damage your board. So there is a warning, but let's zoom out again. That's a little, no, that's 100%. So this is how you normally see it. It isn't exactly huge to me. And so the thing is like I've, for one, gotten really used to building like LDO kits, right? Where everything's just plug and play. And these end stops, they come like with the plugs on them, but they're incorrect. So if you just take the end stops that come with this and plug it into the board, your 5 volts and your signal are swapped. And so in my opinion, instead of having this warning here, they just need to correct that. Like the fact that that can fry a board is kind of a big deal to me. And again, warning is there. It's not that they don't tell you, but I don't think, knowing me, I would have fried my board. Had 760 not experienced it himself and came into chat telling me, hey, double check your end stops. I pulled up the pinout and saw that the red and the white are swapped, if I remember correctly. So I would either, they either need to swap them before shipping them out, or just don't include the plug on the end. Just pull them out and make the you know, the end user or whoever's building it plug those wires in. But that was the only real real thing. Everything else was incredibly well thought out. But on the electrical, it's just like, I just feel like they need to put a little bit more into making that clear. And like that just, I don't know. Your X-Stepper working well? It is. Got another Sunlu dryer with a discount. Nice. Normally they cost 81 euros. Sunlu gave out a promo code. Got one a discount from Sunlu last week as well. Nice. Yeah, I just used it to dry out some PTG as well as some TPU the other day. I said in the video on it, I was going to be exclusively using it to see how it holds up. And so far, it's working fine. As much as I wish there was some kind of a fan on it, I will say that because I do video stuff, it not having a fan is kind of nice because of how damn quiet it is when it's working. Yeah, the last thing about it is, so right now outside looks clean, inside here is quite messy. And the reason why I haven't cleaned it up is I'm very likely going to be installing V3D's PCB breakout board. And so right now, the way the V-Minion is set up is all the wires are long and they go all through basically one harness, at least all the X carriage. And then there's these two other ones. But if you want to upgrade anything, if you, let's say like your thermistor goes out, your heater cartridge, whatever, you have to completely unclip everything, open up the wire all the way to the board. It's just not ideal. Granted, again, if you're setting it and you're just leaving it, then you're probably fine for a really long time and it would be like just about any other printer. But V3D did create a super cool mod. Let me see here. If I go to desktop and I go to, why do we have a big magnification button? V-Minion. Okay, let's just TRI RatRig. That's not how you spell it. Let's see. Why don't I see anymore? He did have them, I thought. Yeah, here they are. So he created V3D on YouTube, who built one of these a while ago, and he's done some pretty cool mods. Oh, it's sold out. Is there assembly? Let's see. So what it is a breakout board. All of your wires go into this board, which is going to be mounted somewhere around the printer or on the printer's frame. And then you have just a couple of plugs that go from the breakout board to the main board. And so this is sweet. I almost wish this was just something that RatRig would include in their kit. I think for this machine, it's a really nice setup, especially because you have this side box to be able to remove it and quickly swap things out. But really, aside, like mechanically, this thing is, I'm stoked on it. Electrical, I just think there needs a little bit more refinement on it. Not that it's not functional. Functionally, I think it's solid, and I'll cover this. I'm gonna do a full video on it. But the electrical definitely tripped me up a little bit, and took more time because of sort of all that stuff. Hey, G-Funny, gifted 1 membership. Thank you very much. Does it say who got the... Huh, it doesn't say who got the gifted membership. That's weird. Let's see. Let me refresh this page. How strange. Maybe it's delayed? I don't know. Okay, so let's do some printing, or let's get something printing, because today the goal is to have a pretty laid back stream, do some printing, or do a print, get a print going. Let's take a quick peek. Let's see what I want to do here. I'm gonna pop out chat. Pop out chat, there you go. Okay, so here we go, RatOS. Okay, so RatOS looks a lot like Mainsail, because it basically is their version of Mainsail. The things that are kind of cool about this is that normally when you install Mainsail, depending on how you do it, you would set up your Wi-Fi, your network and password through the Pi Flasher utility, while with RatOS, you just flash it to your micro SD card, plug it into your printer, and then it generates a hotspot, like I think it's Rat Wi-Fi or something like that. You click on it, and then it has sort of a setup guide that has you enter in or connecting to your Wi-Fi, enter your Wi-Fi and password, and then it connects it, which is just a small thing, but it's kind of cool. I haven't seen it. It's definitely not part of standard. It's not part of standard mainsail. And then my video is covering it, so let me see if I can move my video for a second here. Let's see. There we go. So on the right side here, there's some cool stuff, especially the compile firmware. So instead of going through like the make menu config or going into terminal, all you do is click on this compile firmware button, and it compiles the firmware for every single board they support. Now granted, it takes like 5 minutes versus the 60 seconds or whatever it would take, if even 60 seconds, to do it for a single board, but it's kind of neat. And what it does is, if you go under machine and you go under firmware binaries, that's not what we want. I didn't mean to open that. So much happening. Oh. Machine. Yeah, so it generates a bin file for all of the boards they support. So SKR2, which is what's in this one, the SKR Pro, 5.6 Spider, Big 2 Tech Octopus Pro, and regular Octopus. So you don't have to do... What happened? That was weird. You don't have to do anything, which is just kind of neat. Again, for a lot of us, like, we've been using Clipper or mainsail for quite a while, so it's not exactly like it's complicated, but it is still neat. It's something different. It's kind of cool. And then the other thing that they do that's pretty cool, which you can't see it right now, is they have, when you, there's three different, I think three different scripts when you open it up as well. And it says, just like, choose your printer, and so you choose, you know, V-Minion, V-Core, or I don't know if it's a different V-Core, what the third option was. And when you click on it, it generates all of the config files. So your printer config, the all these different configs, the Z-Probe, template, steppers, sensors, scripts, printers. Okay, here we go. So these are the ones, the V-Minion, V-Core Pro, and V-Core 3. And then it generates everything for you. And where is... And it's all nicely documented, like more so than what I'm used to seeing if you just grab something from like the repository of, you know, predefined things on the Clipper website. I think it's on Clipper's website or GitHub. And so it's pretty cool. They make it very simple. Hey, tripods, what's going on? They make it really simple to get up and running, which is like, that's why I really want like a little bit of refinement on the electrical wiring process, because I thought the instructions for the hardware was phenomenal, and I feel like the RatOS is also really nice. But the electrical just needs a little bit more. Can I undo this? Yay. Yeah, so there's that. And then in Super Slicer, they have the profiles already, which is cool. I mean, you just go RatRig, choose your V-Minion, and they've got a 0.2 and a 0.12 profile. The speeds aren't crazy. Let's see if I go to speed. It's like 120 millimeters per second perimeters and 140 infill. This printer can definitely get pushed beyond that, but if you just want to build this and print, like, that's still pretty quick for a like safe stock speeds that you know are gonna perform well. So anyways, let's figure out what we're going to print. Let's see. Hey, what's up, Puller? Does anybody have any recommendations? We can go to things or printables and see. That's all right. Let's see what's new on here. Oh man, I've been wanting to print out one of Chaos Cortec has been making these different balloon animal poses that are kind of amazing. Is this one? I'd like to do one that requires like minimal supports. I almost wonder if this one could be done support free. Should we do one of these? This one almost looks like it'd be supportless. There's some overhangs there. That's an overhang. These start... that might need a little bit on that end. The cat? Is there a... oh, wow. Balloon cat. Interesting. This one... okay, so... that's a pretty gnarly overhang. The thing is, like, I don't know, like, I love Chaos Cortex models, but some of them are definitely more aimed towards resin. We can try, I just don't have, I haven't done any, like, dialing in of supports or anything like that, so I don't know how easy it'll be to remove the supports. Yeah, I was gonna say, this model looks pretty difficult. Oh my god, there's a balloon hot dog. Wow, they've done, it's been a minute since we've printed or I printed out some of their models. I'd like to do one that's not gonna require much on the support side of things. Okay, let's do a vote. So there's, the options are, we can try the cat. We've got yoga, and we've got, I guess that's also yoga, is it not? Or, okay, or we'll throw in Zoidberg. Hey, what's up, John? Okay, so what to print? Our options are Futurama, so Zoidberg, or we've got Balloon Cat, which I think is going to be super tough to print, but if that's what we want, then that's what we want. Or we've got Herd Pose. Balloon Herd Pose. All right, we'll give it a minute or two. Then as far as filament goes, let me grab out some filament so we can choose. If we're doing the balloon one, this like bubblegum protoplastic stuff might be kind of cool. I'll cycle through them one more time. So we've got Balloon Dog, Zoidberg, which Zoidberg seems to be winning right now. Zoidberg could be kind of cool because we could see, I don't know, I could slice it without supports and see what the bridging looks like on his crotch. Oh, Zoidberg's. Okay, yeah, so we got Zoidberg, we got Balloon Herd Pose, and we've got Balloon Cat. I'm gonna be printing out one of the balloon ones regardless at some point. I just don't know if we don't do it today, it'll probably be with resin. It's PTG. I don't have. That's PTG. Where the heck are all my PLAs? I have. I don't think that the printed solid ones will fit on the spool. Yeah, Polyterra in black, but I don't think that's super fun. It's so crazy. I used to have a ton of PLA, and then Voron, and so now I have like a bunch of ABS, as well as, you know what, we can do a printed solid one because we'll just use these little side rollers instead. All right, so we've got this green slime, and then we've got where's that blood dragon one? It's not blood dragon. It's just, there we go. All right. Looks like it's probably Zoidberg. Hey, what's up, Justin? Yeah, I think we'll do Zoidberg. 52% is pretty good considering there's 3. Okay, so Zoidberg it is. That is, people have spoken. Yeah, I won by quite a bit. I guess if we combined the balloons, then it wasn't too far off. All right, and so then the next question is, we'll probably do a vote on this as well. We'll keep it fair. Here's our color options. So remember, we're doing Zoidberg, and we have got this, which is a red. It's a really pretty red. You can't really see it on camera right now, but there's a bit of sparkle. There's definitely some like silver glitter. Then there's green, which also has a little bit of silver glitter. And then there is bright, cameras change the lighting a little bit of the color, but I think it's called Watermelon Crush. Yes, Watermelon Crush, and it quite literally looks like a watermelon. All right, we'll do a poll for this one too. And then I will get the, let's see. Orange was not an option. It's like a pink. I guess it does look kind of orange though. All right, so what filament? We've got watermelon. I think that's how you spell that. Watermelon Crush. So we've got green with sparkle, and then we've got the red with sparkle. All right. Polyterra has a watermelon color. It was called Rose initially. Oh, interesting. I don't think I've used that. I've probably used 5 or 6 different colors of Polyterra, but they're yellow, white, black, gray, a bluish teal, and then an orange maybe? I know they expanded their catalog too. Okay, so let me download Zoidberg. Let's see. Oops, cancel. I doubt, wow, he's a pretty big dude, man. Jeez. All right, I'm gonna slice it without supports. I just wanna see what it looks like if the lines are going. No, we're definitely gonna need some supports. I think that we let, the arms, bridge. It's a pretty aggressive angle. Like, I'm not confident it's not gonna have some droop, but if we want to, I'm cool with that. But we should definitely add some supports to the crotch area. Yeah, Watermelon Crush is Protopastas. I've had it for, I have had it for over a year. Usually when I get like fancy filaments, whether they're silky or glittery, I hold on to them for special occasions. Because for most of the like functional stuff I'm printing, a solid color in most every color is going to be fine. All right, it looks like Watermelon Crush is what it's going to be. And pull. All right, Watermelon Crush it is. So let's go ahead. Let's add some supports to the crotch area. Let's see. Build plate. I don't know. Does Super Slicer have the pattern? They don't have what is it? In Prusa Slicer, there's like the fine support. It's not called fine supports, but there's a different style of support. I thought that I guess they didn't add it. Let's see. Over a grid angle, solid. Don't need a raft. Pattern spacing. Interface layers. Yes, I definitely want some interface layers. Yeah, I'll just leave it default. It's not a very oh no, I don't want it all over like that. Okay, let's do a little paint on action. Let's make the brush a lot bigger than that. I want to, even if this is challenging, I want to just see how good it can do at overhangs, or how good it can do, how well it handles overhangs. we'll block all of this area off. Ah! Oops, a bit of dot on his head, that's okay. Okay, let's try it again. Snug supports, that's right. Can I start the stream over? No, luckily it will be archived though. I pretty much just talked about my thoughts on the build and everything. I'm super happy with RatOS. I was playing around with it quite a bit over the last week. I'm super happy with the hardware side of things. Just the electrical that I feel needs some level of instruction, and the end stops, when you get them in the kit, they're wired incorrectly. The 5-volt and signal are switched, and it's just dangerous. Like, it's a good way to damage your electronics. So if they add a little bit more detail to the, if they add detail to the electronics wiring part with at least some tips and tricks on how to route things, and they switch the end stops up, then I'm really content. Self-satisfied printer people use smug supports. Oh, that's funny. Okay, yeah, well, that's a lot of supports in his groin area that we probably don't really need, but that's fine. Let's load up some filaments. So let's go side cam. The Protopasta one should also fit nicely. Should fit nicely on here. I won't have to use the little side guys. It also doesn't tell you anywhere in the instructions to cut these PTFE tubes. I was just looking at it and I was like, wait, it's definitely supposed to have some form of a PTFE to help with the rotation. We should probably heat this up. Let's see. Dashboard and preheat PLA. Cool. All right, it is heating up. So, I know that one of the comments a couple people said during the build was that the power supply isn't meanwhile, and that the power supply is quite loud. It is fairly loud. I don't think that having it inside of this contained box is doing it any favors. It's sort of like a little bit of an echo chamber, but I still don't actually think it's all that bad. And part of it might be that I've mentioned it, but like, I have the X1 Carbon in here, and the X1 Carbon is a very loud machine. When it's cranking away, it's definitely not quiet. So it might be that my sort of like levels or standards of noise are a little bit less, like I'm okay, or I'm used to a little bit more noise, I suppose. But yeah, I definitely think that a Meanwell would be quieter than this. And I think most of the fan sound that I'm hearing, which I don't know if you guys can even hear it, I think I have a noise filter, is coming from the power supply and not this exhaust fan that's on the top of here. The box does have a fan. Yeah, it seems like it's a input fan. So there is no exhaust fan. Interesting. Yeah, there's no air blowing out. It's sucking air in. All right, we are heated up. Let's cut this at a little bit of an angle. This filament's so fun. It's just like probably one of the happier filaments I have. It also just looks delicious. Okay. Load filament. All right. There's some skipping steps. I think it was going too quick. Hey, what's up, zombie? The Minion is so quiet with a fanless PSU? Oh, is it you're saying you swapped out your V-Minion's power supply for a fanless? I don't think any of the printers I've ever used use a fanless PSU. I know that I've heard they work quite well, and they are, I think they're a little bit pricey, right? Lisa says, yes, don't forget to hit the like button. We crossed 2,000 subs last week, which is awesome. I think we're at like 2,040 as of today. All right, we are good. let's go ahead and get this. I already linked up the two. Oh, we're gonna do our giveaway as well. I forgot to mention it, but we'll do it at a regular time. So in 55 minutes, we'll open up the Polymaker filament giveaway. Okay, so send, start after uploading, cool, minimize. Should upload, there we go. Okay. There we go. No Bowden tube. Oh, that's a good point. Though there is a bit of Bowden tube to add here to help as like a guide tube, which I can add. It would probably be just loose right now. I was looking into it and I saw that there's an adapter that I could reprint out this top piece that basically holds it in place that I really like, but I don't have any of this filament, so I didn't do that. But I guess for now I could just put a little bit of the PTFE tube in here and kind of have it loose and it should be fine. I completely forgot about that. We'll let it run, but I think it's in this box and I'm pretty sure, yeah. There is, I've got enough room here. So I just need to figure out what long-term I'm going to do. I really want to get a spool of this green in either in PETG or ABS to do some, like print out that different part up top here. And if I do end up doing the PCB divider, so that way I can have the exact same color. Yeah, you should have a small piece of Bowden tube on the top of the extruder for sure. Yeah, even just a tiny little bit up top. Like some of the direct drives I use literally just have a super tiny piece. Is there, I wonder if there is a tiny piece somewhere. There is a super tiny piece actually that we can try to pause it before it starts printing. Let me see if I can get it to pause. I know I missed a comment or two. Hey, CRS, any CNC stuff coming down the pipeline? I've been missing a lot of streams lately. Yeah, so if you, I don't know if you follow me on Twitter or not. I think you do. I just finished building a second workbench in the garage. There are these small modular workbenches. Actually, I'll show you. Another YouTuber designed them, and I was like, these are perfect for me. Modular workbench. Let's see. Yeah. So these are what I'm building. They are basically carts. No. Yeah, so they're basically carts. They're all the same size, and they have these holes on them that are lined up with each other, 4 on the long side and 2 on the short side that take 1/2-inch bolts so you can make them more of a solid table. So I finished building one last night, almost one before stream today. 1 second. Will it pause right away? Yes, okay. And so I'm putting 2 of these together for the CNC machine, and then I have a CO2 laser coming in the not so distant future, and so I'm going to be building 2 more. But part of the reason I haven't done as much CO2 is because I haven't had a dedicated spot. In the garage, it shares a table with some stuff, and so I'm like CNC on the floor, other thing up here, okay, CNC up top, and so that's been annoying. I set everything up to run a first planing pass of the MDF spoil board, and I discovered that I don't have it in here, the dust shoe I created, I like it, but the brushes are just far too long. And so I tried cutting down the brushes and discovered it's near impossible to cut that wire brush. And so one of 2 things is going to happen. And I'm probably going to start off with a simpler route so I can just start using it and then go the long route. Simpler route is just order a shorter brush off of like McMaster-Carr, like maybe half of the length, and then redesign the attaching point because it'll have a different thickness on the like rubber or the material that sews it together. And then the way my dust shoe works is it actually bolts onto the spindle. So as the spindle raises and lowers, so does it. Ideally, after looking at everything, I would like to have the dust shoe attached to the back plate so it's completely stationary and it stays at one level. That way the brush length won't matter because it's not going to be getting pushed further down or lifted further up, and just the spindle will go further up or down and it won't matter. So I'm probably going to go the easy route, since I already spent quite a bit of time designing it, and just do a shorter brush and then go back to the drawing board in the future. But yeah, we are getting closer, but nothing like substantial to announce other than like working on it still, and definitely excited. I just haven't, it's been quite a process to get to where I can actually use the thing. So that's what's going on. Okay, let's see if I can make everybody happy and unload this really quick.
Delilah and Monkey needs toys or bills.
Lisa, thank you very much for the $20 donation. Delilah and Monkey need toys or bills. Erin actually got Delilah a pretty awesome new bed. When she got her paycheck, the last one, she went out and got Monkey a bed, and then we felt bad because Delilah had a pretty old bed, and so they both have nice new beds now. They look like a dog bed, but they have sort of arms on them, so it kind of looks like a personal dog sofa, and it's kind of awesome. I'll take a photo later and post it in Discord actually. Thank you very much. Okay, so we will put this guy in here. Just a small little piece to help. I don't know if I have any extra little collet clips in here. I do. Yay. Yeah, so we'll rock this for now, and then I will need to figure out long term. I would like to get one that mounts up here, so that way it's a little bit more official, but this should be plenty fine for now. Yes, and then we will reload the filament, and then we will start printing Zoid. I didn't even check how long this print is. I have a feeling we won't finish it on stream because I need to. Yeah, we won't finish it. We'll get it printing, and then I will post it later on. When Erin gets home later, I need to run to the hardware store to get some casters. What are we doing here? Let's see, load filament. Okay. I feel that you'll eventually wear out the plastic PTFE copper on the LGX Lite without the tube. I'm way far back on chat. Sorry, everybody. Did Steve show up? I missed Steve. Hey, Steve, what's going on? Need an exhaust outside for laser. Yeah, so I do have from me working for Lightburn. I do work for Lightburn doing videos on their channel. I do have a pretty good exhaust. Not an exhaust. 1 second. One focus at a time. I don't want this blob to screw things up. There we go. Interesting. There's like a bit of orange on it. Kind of neat. Okay. Hopefully we can just hit resume and be printing. Yeah. I do have a pretty nice, not exhaust to the outside, but it's a filtration system. It's basically a big box that has 3 different, as like carbon filter and 2 other filters to catch particulates and odor and stuff like that. So I do have something, and I'm gonna see how well that does with the CO2 laser. Since we're renting, I can't really drill any holes, which sucks, and that's fine, right? Is that okay? I can't drill any holes, which kind of sucks, and I also, this garage doesn't have any door to the outside. Like, you have the door to the house, and then the big garage door, and there's no vent or anything like that. It's really weird. In California, I think it's a law that you have to have some kind of a vent, so that way your exhaust can exhaust out of the garage, but apparently it's not part of the program here. Let's see. The LGX doesn't need that clip. The black piece is already so, oh, interesting. That is a lot. God, that is a ton of support going down. I definitely think we could have gone with less. It's laying down really clean though. I don't know, hopefully you guys can see it okay. It looks pretty good. Yeah, it's definitely got a bit of translucency to it. When you get some layers stacked on top of it, it really does look kind of like watermelon, where it's got that pinkish tone, but sort of like the water, which would be the translucent. You should always have a vent in your garage, silly not to, even if it isn't a code law. Yeah, I mean, again, if it was my garage, it'd be a different story. I would have an AC. I would install AC and do all sorts of things. We're renting. We've only been out here for the 6th of September will be 3 months. So I can't do anything permanent, which like drill holes to vent outside. Yeah, it's proto pasta watermelon crush. I was speaking Shakespeare to you, didn't mean to read you out, thought it was funny. I might need to look at the head. I might need to look at the head using an LGX instead of the light. How come? It's awesome seeing the LGX in action after hearing G-Funny and DC talk about it so much. A little, not lately, I guess, but at one point they were like preaching preaching about LGX and how awesome both the full size and the LGX Lite are. So I guess while this is printing, we can talk about some future video plans and just kind of stuff that's in the pipeline. So next week, hey, Zombie, thank you for becoming a member, and Candy too. You guys are awesome. Thank you very much. The LGX Mini is adorable. We took G-Funny sent me a photo of it next to, I think it was a quarter, and it is just so small. LGX and its light version are great extruders. I have both and love them. Yep. No, not a Goomba. It is Zoidberg. I've heard the LGX Lite has problems with high speeds. I guess maybe it depends on how quick high speeds we're talking. Like, you know, we're talking 150 to 200 millimeters a second, or are we talking like 400 or 500, or, you know, up from there, like some crazy speed. I could see it maybe insane speeds possibly. Not that I've seen it, but that's, I could see it, you know, I could possibly see that happening. All right, quick drink and then we'll talk plans. So there's quite a lot of video stuff, stream stuff. So next week is definitely going to be the Sovol SV04. It came in like yesterday. I can't even bring the box over here. The box is like, I mean, 3 feet by 3 feet. It's a monster. But it is a IDEX 300 by 300 by 400 millimeter printer. And it's not all metal as far as the hot end or heat break goes, but the second it showed up, I went on their website and ordered bimetal heat breaks for it, which they had a 3-pack of bimetal heat breaks for 15 bucks, which really makes me wonder, why they don't include it by default if they're offering 3 for $15. I think anyone would be happy to pay $10 to have 2 of them, but if they, we'll probably start by doing some test prints with it just as is, but then I'm definitely going to upgrade it to the bimetal heat breaks. That way we can dual extrude whatever we want on it. So that should be fun. Also, I saw Lisa was talking about the Ender 3 belt mod that Zerant had done. It's by, you've talked to me about it, Zombie. Kevin, right? I'm in his Discord. Let me pull it up. Kevin, aka Sam. Belt chat, belt. Why don't I see belt chat, client chat, helper Marlin? So weird. I had belt chat. Maybe this is where it is. Pinned. There we go. Okay. So we're also going to be doing this. We're going to be upgrading this Ender 3. It's on the ground behind me conveniently. It's got the Micro Swiss, their NG extruder, direct drive extruder in hot end, and we're going to be upgrading it to this. So it's a single motor in dual belted Z, which I'm pretty excited for. I ordered the hardware kit from AliExpress. I've got the belts, the bearings right here. I've got the smooth rod right here. The only thing I need to still do is print out all the parts. I'm not sure if I'm doing it in PTG or ABS yet, but that is something we're going to be doing. You said, what's the model? What's the model number for what? Can you vent out a window? There's no window in the garage. The best I can do is have the garage open. That's like the extent of it. So what I'll probably do is yeah, I don't know. We'll figure it out. I don't exactly know what I'm gonna do yet. So this is something that we've got going on. What else? There's a CO2 laser coming in on loaner for a couple of months that we are going to unbox in here. In that, I will probably just vent out of the screen here. I think it'll be pretty fun. It'll be awesome. And then a couple other things as well. There's quite a few other things. But next week will be the Sovolve, and then the weekend after that will either be another. It'll either be the CO2, another printer, or we'll do the Ender 3 mod, because that's something I really want to do. I just again need to print out the parts. I was talking about the larger pancake stepper. Oh, okay, gotcha. Just did the E3 belt mod, excellent mod. Print the parts in ABS. Print the parts in ABS. I have got a lot of PETG that I'm trying to use as well, which is my predicament here. I have a ton of PETG. I think is this PETG or is it PLA? No, that's PLA. And I know that the creator said he did his in PETG, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna do it in ABS. The best material to put these parts in if you do not print ABS is Polymaker very stiff. Is the ERCF ever happening? It is happening, but I don't know when. I originally was going to put it onto the Switchwire. I don't think it's going on the Switchwire anymore. So that's part of the predicament, is we can potentially start building it, and then we would stop, we'd probably stop until there's a printer that I want to put it on. So I have an idea of what that printer will be, but until it's completely locked in, I don't want to say yet. Why you belted a Z Ender instead of an E3 Switchwire? Well, the Ender 3 Switchwire is much bigger of a conversion, and I don't want to, so I have the Switchwire, and I really like the Micro Swiss NG extruder. It's phenomenal for printing with incredibly soft TPUs. I think they were printing with like 65A at Murph on it, which is nuts. It's the, I think, Luke, you saw it, right? The Coex 3D. Let's see, the filament is it called Coex Flex? Yeah, no, 60A. That is insane. It's substantially softer than Ninja Flex. So it's a great extruder, and it's like if I want something that can print with a lot of TPUs, because I've actually lately been printing with TPUs, like vacuum adapters and stuff like that for the CNC. It's been awesome. VZ bot, not a VZ bot. My projects are almost to the point where I'll get the ERCF. No bonsai, sorry, Sam. I have an ERCF coming from someone awesome. I'll figure it out on stream. Yeah, I still need to finish printing out the parts for the ERCF. I've definitely made a lot of progress on it. Let me see if I can. There is so much crap behind the camera. Like I usually do on any project, not all projects, but most of them, I have my spreadsheet and I've been marking off stuff. So this is the parts I've got. Nope, you can't see that, can you? It also does like nothing. Let's do this for a second. These are the parts I've got so far. And I haven't done any of the accent parts. I think I'm almost done with the primary parts. So we're close. So that is something we could potentially do as well. Not having the printer it's gonna go on kind of sucks. Yeah. Time to crank up the speed slider. We can definitely go a bit faster if you guys want. I was just kind of showing what the default stuff was. We might need to pick up temp if, oh, it's at 215. So, all right, so it's at 100%. Does it update? Okay, so we're bouncing right now between like 80 and 130. So let's bump it up. Let's do 20% increase in speed. Okay, it's 20% faster. Let's let it print like this for a couple of minutes, maybe like 2-3 minutes, just to make sure everything's fine. And then we can bump it up a bit more as well. We'll just kind of step it up. 500%? No. I wish I had a reason to pick up flexible TPU. I haven't had a project for that yet. Yeah, if you don't, I mean, I picked up TPU pretty early on. I think it was probably the 3rd filament I ever got. That's not true. Maybe the 4th. It was really early on. Like, I think I could probably find it actually. Let's see here. It was from SaneSmart. I think I might even still have some of it. Let's see. TPU. Oh wait, 1 second. So I print my parents' phone cases. So let's see. I need to send my dad a package of phone cases. He loves the phone cases, and it's a cool way for him because he thinks 3D printing is awesome. It's a cool way for him to like talk to people about it. So this is one that I printed. It's got serious pillowing on the inside, but it won't affect the actual like integrity of it. Oh man, this sucks. I'm too zoomed in. But I just printed out another one on the V400, and it turned out awesome as well. It looks really, really good. It's still, you can't really tell. So phone cases is always something cool. I mean, my phone case is disgustingly dirty. Like this was a nice blue at one point. It's got a lot of like, the sides are just gross. But I think I've had this phone case on here for 2.5 years. So it's definitely, it holds up. And then any sort of like feet, like TPU feet are great on 3D printers or whatever. And like for me, gaskets, I'm using it as a gasket for the shop vac dust extractor. I've used it also for fume extraction as a gasket, and then I'm also using it for all of the fittings for my shop vac. Okay, so let me see here. That TPU that I bought, 2016 is when I ordered it. Yeah. It was definitely one of the earlier filaments that I purchased. I think that the DaVinci 1.0 came with ABS, so ABS was the first filament I ever printed with. And then I picked up, some, let me see here. I'm gonna go back here. I share my Amazon with family, so I don't want all the orders visible. Let me see here. I don't know. So that was on November 21st. And then I also bought my glow-in-the-dark. Yeah. So this was one of the first, and a wood filament. So I bought this one, Hatchbox, back in, oh wait. Okay, we'll go back so you can see. I bought this one March 25th. of 2016. So that was a very early spool for me because I got my printer, my first 3D printer was end of 2014, which came with ABS. I pretty much printed through that spool, then the printer broke. I sat on it for many, many months and then I fixed it. And then I started experimenting with stuff. Once I swapped the brains out to a ramps or an Arduino and installed, I think it was Repetier firmware, then I didn't have to use chipped filament anymore, so I was able to explore a bit. And then one of the other early ones that I got was actually a wood filament. Let me see, wood. So that was March, that one, right? Let's see. At least I thought I ordered a wood filament early on. Yeah. So I guess it wasn't that early, but those were the 3 different types of non-ABS or PLA filament I tried were TPU, the glow-in-the-dark PLA, and then wood fill. Wood fill sucked. I mean, it was difficult when I made the video on it recently, but oh, back then when the extruders were just even like worse, like they are not bad now, but they were very bad back then, and the hot ends were not very good either. It was a nightmare. But yeah, those were the first three that I printed. Phone cases. Home 3D Printing's kill app. How'd your first day of school go, Sam? Okay, I missed a little bit. Does it print? Support slower? It seems like it. Yeah, it definitely does. Does anyone know if you can access our Raspberry Pi's GPIO from within Clipper? From within Clipper? I don't think you can. Okay, we'll crank it up. So let's see. All right, we're at 120. We'll bump it up to 150. The one thing I'm not sure of is if the speed's updating, like the millimeters per second, like in the little active window, it doesn't look like it's updating. It's definitely updating the speed though. I mean, I see it. Let's see, acceleration 3000. That's interesting too. The acceleration is adjusting. Is that because of Super Slicer? Output option, multiple shooters, width and flow, speed. There we go. Default accelerate. Okay, so there is acceleration control built into their profile. Default's 2000, perimeters is 2500, infill is 3000. So it adjusts the acceleration based off what you're doing. I like the stock profile, and I'm going to leave it for just throw something at it and print that's not crazy warp speed. But I do think I will probably also build another one that doesn't have acceleration control built into the slicer. I have TPU from 2014 that I've still hardly used. Added some pictures of my Ender3 Z-Belt mod in the Discord under printer mods. Oh, sweet. I'll take a look at that really quick. Printer mods. I am not in the ModBot Discord. Printer mods. Ooh, nice. Yeah, so this is basically what I'm gonna be building. It looks great. I do need to order the bolts. I have a lot of hardware, but I think that it calls for a bunch of M5 bolts, which I do not have. But yeah, it looks sweet. I'm excited because the NG extruder is not heavy compared to what some other extruders are direct drive, but it's definitely got some weight to it when you compare it to like the stock Bowden setup. And so having the one, it'll be nice for Z-hopping, but two, having it supported on both sides with a belt is going to be awesome for keeping any sort of slop or sag out of the gantry. If I end up really liking it, I might end up doing it on the Ender3 V2 I have that also has the NG extruder. But yeah, that looks great. The mod looks awesome. it looks freaking sweet. Hey, did you do an ABS? Is this ABS? Nope, that's my face. That's what we want. Yeah, wood fill is super tough with a 0.4 nozzle. It depends on the wood fill too. Like the one I tried on for the video I made was kicking my butt. It was really difficult. Larger nozzle did help, but some of the different wood fills have different fiber sizes as well as different density, like as far as how much wood fiber it contains. And so depending on which one you go with, you can get you can have an easier time. But yeah, the one I tried recently it was not easy. It was getting certain times I was like, you gotta be kidding me. All right, let's crank it up a bit more. So that's 150. We're at 180 now. Is 200 the most it'll let you go in the web interface? Can you up the Excel like live? I thought it had to be done. I thought it had to be done like prior. I didn't know you can do it. I didn't think you could do it live. Oh, Leiwu. Leiwu sounds familiar. The Z-belted monitor, all ABS. Other parts are PLA plus. Nice. Wood filament is also hygroscopic. I wouldn't say more so than PLA. Oh, you can keep going. Cool. Why not do a switch wire conversion? It's not that I'm against doing a switch wire conversion. It's just that both the Ender 3 I have and the Ender 3 V2 have the Micro Swiss NG extruder and hot ends, and I like the Micro Swiss NG extruder and hot ends. So I wouldn't want to swap it out, and there's no way, because of the way the aluminum block is, there's no way to mount it to a linear rail. I'm sure they'll probably gonna, if they have not, I haven't checked recently, but I'm sure that they're gonna release a linear rail version. But I don't want to get rid of those extruders. And then I picked up another Ender 3 off of eBay like a week and a half ago that was a return. It was 80 bucks and I got it in, assembled it, and the main board seemed like it had issues. It basically would sometimes not read the micro SD card, and then at random points in the print, it would basically error out. And so G-Funny hooked me up with a E3 Turbo when I went to Murph, which was supposed to go in the switch wire, but because I had the switch wire already working, I didn't want to redo all the pinouts, so I put another SKR Mini in there, and I put the E3 Turbo in here, and now it's performing great. But I'm going to be doing a exoslide conversion on that one. I got an exoslide kit in for the X and Z on that one. But yeah, I'm not against doing a switch wire conversion, but I just did a full switch wire build, so it's kind of like, I don't know, I want to play around with some other mods. Okay, we will bump it up. So acceleration's bouncing back and forth between 3,000 and 2,000. I don't know if there's a way for me to not... Okay, I wonder if because I typed it in now, acceleration, if it won't override it. No, it's still overriding it. Yeah, Slicer seems like it gets priority over me. Okay, let's bump it up. Okay, we're at 200% now. It's kind of a bummer about the acceleration though. I wish I had known that or looked at that prior. For a single driver, a linked dual Z is much better. Yeah, though I'm going with, at least for the first one, I'm going also with just the single Z, not independently driven. I'm not sure. I'm probably going to add auto bed leveling to that printer as well, but I'm not sure. My goal was kind of to keep costs down, and that's also part of the reason. Although, I mean, the SKR minis are pretty inexpensive. You can get them on sale on Amazon for like 40 bucks, so it's not a huge deal. But at least for this first one, I'm going to do single and see how well it performs. And then if I do a second one, if I convert to Ender 3v2, then we'll see. It'll depend. All right, let's change it up. I wish there was a way I could cancel the... Yeah, it sucks, man. Every time I change it, it just, as it goes to different parts of the print, it's going to switch back and forth. So it's got defaults 2000, perimeters 2500, and infills 3000. I wish I could just set them all to at least 3. But to be fair, this is the first print we're doing like on stream on this. So my original plan was just to print something, not go insane. Hey, what's up? What's up, Mo? $8,000 acceleration. Have you been outbidding me? It wasn't an auction. It was a. I can post it if anyone wants it. I'm not affiliated with this person, and I can't vouch for even their. Can't even vouch for their. Like the quality of the machines and like that. What the heck? Create accounts. Sign into eBay. Okay. If anyone's interested, I'll post it. I just thought because this Ender 3 is getting a new extruder, a new hot end, and like most of the motion systems getting swapped, that I didn't care if it was new or not. Like if someone bought the printer and then got it home and, you know, decided 3D printing wasn't for them, or even if there was a flood, I didn't really care if it meant I could save 60, 70 bucks on it. So yeah, here's the one I went with. It's unrepaired, so it's 85 bucks, and then this, he's charging $15 shipping, which I don't know, I don't remember paying that. I'm assuming I probably did. There's a couple other people out on there as well, but yeah, the printer came with all the components. The bed, I mean, it had hardly been used. I don't know, well, actually, I don't know if it had hardly been used. I think I'm lying, because they had flashed it with BL Touch firmware. So I think that they maybe swapped out a new bed before they shipped it out. I'm assuming this person, like, you know, buys all of the returns or a bunch of returns. But I mean, the bed had like a little bit of white on it, but I'm planning on swapping it out for powder coated PEI. But yeah, it had all the components. Every single part was there. The extruder worked. The only issue was with the main board, which the main board's pretty damn loud by default. So, you know, swapping it out's not a huge deal. Do the belted Z with linear rails as well. Belted Z with linear rails as well. The one I'm doing right now is going to be belted Z with just the regular V rollers, or the roller wheels. And then the other one I'm doing will have the Exo slide motion system, so it won't have V rollers, it'll have that system. And then on the Ender 3v2, if we swap that one, maybe I'll do linear rails on that one. That way we can see, I mean, I don't know how I would even test the difference. Like, the V-rollers are going to wear down quickest, and then between the Exo slide and the linear rail, it's going to be tough. Like, it's probably going to be more of a longevity thing, which is really hard to show. Like, you know, come back to me in 2 years and we'll see which one held up. It's really tough to show that in a video format. 15 minutes and then we'll open up the giveaway for the Polymaker filament. $13,000 on the KP3S? Are you sure? I don't know. Do I have the KP3S hooked up here? I don't. The KP3S has been awesome. Like, it's still stock other than it's running Clipper, and I swapped out the bed for powder coated PEI, but that thing has done all of my prototyping for the dust shoe. Like yesterday when I was working on the workbench, I needed a tiny jig. I wanted a tiny jig to mark the exact space I needed to pre-drill all of the 2x4s, and I didn't feel like measuring over and over again because I was tired, and measuring and tired, I knew I was gonna screw up. So if I had this little thing I could place, it would be automatic over and over and repeatable. So I had a laptop in the garage, quickly went on to Onshape, designed it in like 5 minutes. It was just, you know, the measurement of the 2x4, 2 circles, extrude, and a little edge on it. Sliced it up and sent it to the KP3S, which was in the garage. And it, you know, 15 minutes later, that printer's, I have it printing at, like, I mean, it's not blazing fast speeds, but it's pretty quick. It's like 150 millimeters a second plus for everything, and so stock, and it performs. It's a cool little printer. I'm probably gonna show it some love and throw the Orbiter V2 and a better hot end on it. It's kind of, I really enjoy using it. I don't exactly know why. It's just kind of small, but works sort of well. It works really well. What do I say? It works. It's been working really well for me. Kevin, aka Sam, also has an auto-beloved. Oh, I've seen that. Yeah, it's like a clicky pro thing, but I think it only works with the tool head that he designed. Like as far as positioning goes, I'm hoping that I can integrate it into the NG microsoft extruder and use it. So we'll see if that's the thing I can do. I don't think he's done input shaper. I haven't done input shaper yet. Do they have? I'm trying to think. Do they have default? No, they don't. Unless there's default values over here. Pressure extruder. No, I still need to do that. It's a little bit interesting. I don't think that this Pi has a USB port, so I can't use the, where is it? G-Funny made, I've showed it off a couple times, but it's basically a Raspberry Pi Pico that you can just plug in as a separate MCU and quickly run. It's somewhere in here. Input shaper. I don't think I can use it on this. I think I have to use pin headers instead, which kind of sucks. Because they use it's like the Raspberry Pi 3A or something like that. Hey, what's going on, Bruno? What's going on, Hunt? Yeah, I am I am behind on chat. All Dans are behind. Or use a USB hub. I don't think wait, did I miss? Yeah, this runs Clipper. This is Clipper. But the Pi that they use it's like what? It's a Pi 3A? Yeah. Oh, is there? Maybe there. Okay, so there's one. Oh, that's what you're saying, DJ. You're saying to use a hub. Got you. Okay. So yeah. This is the Pi that's inside of it, which I've never used on a Clipper machine before. It's always been either zeros or. Wait, is that micro HDMI or is that micro USB? Because if that's micro HDMI, then that's what's sticking out. It looks like micro HDMI, not micro USB. Specifications. Single USB 2.0 port. CSI, DSI. Output video port. Display port. Yeah, I think it's just got the one. Micro USB. It's normal HDMI micro super. The thing is a Pi 3B Plus without network port. And only one USB 2 port. Gotcha. Okay, power only on micro USB, so I couldn't use that. So it's intended then for, like it says, display power, right? So you can use it to power a screen and then run HDMI to it as well. Yeah, so I guess my options are either use GPIO pins or plug in a like adapter that will take it from one USB 2.0 to two USB 2.0 ports. I would probably just go with GPIO. I would only do input shaper once and then one more time when I upgrade it to the EVA 3.0. Although, if I do what my plan is, which is to make a custom case, side case for this that has a touchscreen for clipper screen, I could mount a different Raspberry Pi to the back of it. That might end up being what I'm doing in ditching this Raspberry Pi. The inductive probe is just the standard one that comes with this. So it's not the Super Pinda. It's just like the Pinda or just a standard inductive probe. I don't know what the that's on the other side. I don't know what the model is specifically. I can try to read it off there. It looks like it's, I mean, Chinese. I don't know if it'll even have. Well, there's probably some model number. But yeah, it's nothing crazy. Yeah, I've noticed a couple times where when I have rebooted or refreshed the page, that it gets sort of a quick, like an MCU error, which is something I've only seen when I've ran Raspberry Pi Zeros, not the, like, or Zero Ws, not the Zero 2s. So I definitely think it's not anything crazy as far as power goes, but it is sufficient. Once it's running, it's fine. You can use the USB hub on it, it will work. I tried. Oh, sweet. Thanks, Nuno. Yeah, that's what I'll probably end up doing then. I will do the EVA 3.0 update once there's a high flow Revo available. I thought based off the testing that either Stefan or Tom did, it basically was a high flow. Like they were saying that it's on par with a Volcano hot end. That's at least what I remember. I've had no issues with the stock inductive probe. I bought a Super Pinda and haven't used it. Gotcha. Yeah, I don't plan on enclosing this one. It's PETG, and I don't necessarily plan on using this for any ABS printing. So I'm probably just gonna rock it as is. I think that more so if I was enclosing it and using it to print a lot of ABS, if it was also printed in ABS, that it would be more of a deal. I was getting really wonky results with the inductive probe on the switch wire before I switched over to a physical probe. Yeah, the print is looking pretty good. 0.2 layer height. %, infill, not exactly a lot. I also, three walls or 2 walls? I'm hoping 3. Two's too little. Slicing perimeters. Yeah, so 3. The default is 3 perimeters, 5 top, and 3 bottom. 5 top is a lot, but it's okay. Yeah, his feet look great. Interesting. Rapido is the only way to go. I need a real high flow. Volcano won't keep up with my V-Minion. Damn, you guys are nuts. Mine was blue and I'm having issues with it now. Probably the same. Just ordered a Super Pinda. Oh, interesting. Okay, so you're having issues. Yeah, I'm still like slow and steady wins the race. I mean, on the X1 Carbon, because their default speeds are crazy, I'm like, let it do its thing. And even on the V400, but on a lot of the other machines, I'm definitely not pushing them to their max. I'm still like somewhere in between. Like reliability is kind of more important to me than just sheer speed, but I'm sure that I'm under, like, I'm sure I could raise the bar as far as what I'm running the printers at and not really have much of a, like the damage or the negative would be negligible long term. Rapido UHF plus CHT, God, that's insane. I still haven't used the CHT. I've heard great things. Currently, I'm using the Dragonfly Primo with a CHT nozzle, but I want high flow with easy nozzle change. I still cannot believe that the Oh God, why can't I think? I can't think what it's called right now. Oh, what is the name of the E3D Revo nozzle that's coming out? Obsidian. I still cannot believe that Obsidian is not out. It is August? No. Yes. Almost September. I would have thought by like March or April. It is just crazy to me. I still haven't installed one on any of the printers. And it's not that I print with... It's not that I print with abrasives all the time. I want to be able to. Like, I don't like that if I install a Revo on a printer, I cannot print with abrasives right now. Nobody makes one. So it's like, I don't want to install it until I know that I'll be able to. It's just mind-blowing to me. I switched the printed parts for ABS, to ABS for the enclosure, gotcha. I thought I saw a V6 CHT version. Rapido takes the native V6 with a nut. Interesting. I can't bring myself to buy into Revo system until it matures a bit. I like the flexibility of the current open nozzle design. Yeah, I'm a little bit bummed out. I understand, like, E3D was just protecting themselves. It sounds like the amount of time and R&D they put into the Revo system, you know, was a lot and expensive. And so they didn't want to release it and instantly just have it copied and everyone to go with the cheaper version, which, not that everyone would, but it would certainly be a share of the market. But it's also a bummer because it's like, I could almost guarantee that if the hot side, because the cold side is open source, so I'm not mistaken. If the hot side was open source to where anyone could make it, I can guarantee you we would have at least like a hardened steel version. Maybe it wouldn't be as good as Obsidian, but we'd have something that we could use. So it's, and it seems like it can be licensed, because didn't E3D, oh, there's been like a lot of collab stuff. So like Drop Effect partnered up with Fadis, but E3D partnered up with, oh God, what's the company? They make the not the CHT, that's Montec. Ooh, someone has to know. Hey, you do it. What's going on, buddy? I can't think of Wayne, it looks like a printer. You need to go back and watch the web. Yeah, I can't think of the company that I'm thinking of right now. But I feel like E3D and another company merged, didn't they? Or they bought like one of them. And I thought that company was going to be making, I thought they had licensed the rights to manufacture their own versions of nozzles, but then I believe that they ended up combining with E3D, so I don't think they're doing that anymore. I also agree, John, like as long as the Zodiac, thank you, DJ Natty. Oh, that's exactly, I never can remember it. I don't know why. Yep, E3D bought the Zodiac company after they released pictures like 2 weeks. That's right. Somebody had shared with me that Zodiac had their own version of the Revo nozzles, and everyone was like, oh, what? Like, I thought that they couldn't do that. And then all of a sudden, they were acquired. I guess if you can't beat them, you know, join them or whatever. So, but yeah, as long as they do last as long, like forever, or, you know, very long, like nearly forever, because I mean, even with a standard brass nozzle, I'm hardly replacing nozzles. So if they do last, I just also wonder what pricing is, right? What are we speculating? What do we think pricing's gonna be? Because the regular nozzle, I think I ordered one, how much are they? Like $20-ish for brass? $25 roughly for just a brass. So what are we thinking? It's gonna be a $50 nozzle roughly? Oh wow, yeah. So like well, that's basically the cost of the Creality one, right? The Creality Revo that they created. Creality Revo. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Creality Revo's $90, it looks like, so not quite. Yeah, it's steep though. It's gotta last a real long time. Ah, it is polymaker time. Yeah. It is nozzle and heat break. It is nozzle and heat break. All right, so we are going to be opening up our giveaway. It's for a spool of polymaker filament. It is any non-exotic, so not carbon fiber or any like glass fiber stuff, but any PLA, ABS, PETG, or ASA. Global shipping, all you have to do is input your info into the form that I'm gonna post in a second. Also, no, I don't know that it needs to be said, but like, I don't use this stuff for anything. Like, there's no email list you're going on. I basically, the second the stream ends and the next stream is going to start, I clear it. So it's just so that way I can reach out to you. It's an awesome thing that Polymaker allows us to do. Although an email list might not be a bad idea someday, but if I ever do something like that, I will absolutely let it be known up front. Okay, let's see. Entry link is coming. Sorry, I'm still figuring out. How to do things here. Pin message. All right, it's in chat. It should be pinned in a second here, and we'll leave that open for half an hour. Dude, Zoidberg's feet are looking great. Getting up to. So I know we can still crank the speed quicker, but part of me is like, I've been saving this filament for something special, and part of me doesn't want to go until the wheels fall off. And also because the acceleration is not able to go beyond what the slicer's set. I don't know how much really I'll be able to do. Let's see. Currently, oops, dashboard. So currently it's at 200%. We'll bump it to 230. I really like the little Dragonfly hot ends. I think that they're solid. I'm also talking about Zodiac. I figured out how to control. Well, in my defense, DJ, I use Macs mostly. Like, there's a Mac Mini is my editing computer, and then Mac Pro is my laptop. So I'm used to the Windows key and V being the paste button, and Windows C being copy, and so I get over here on the Windows computer and hit the Windows button, and then, you know, the start menu pops up. Weren't there like Fadus Zodiac Cotton out there before? I don't know if there was a Fadus Zodiac Cotton out there before. Hey, Polar, for your VZ-Bot, was there any form of kit you kind of sort of went with, or is the entire thing self-sourced? And also, doesn't the VZ-Bot require custom aluminum parts that you can't just source? So, like, did you machine it, or is there a vendor that's supplying that? Damn, my allergies. Jack Shet keeps posting 500%. No. Fadus XG. Dude, my allergies are driving me crazy all of a sudden. I actually I've had it for a bit. This is the Fadus XG. So, but this is not Zodiac and Fadus. This is Fadus and Drop Effect. And I liked the Drop Effect. I installed it on my Sidewinder a while back, but yeah, this is their new hot end. It uses a ring heater and thermistor, I believe, kind of in one. Single, like, one-handed nozzle changes. It doesn't use the standard nozzle threading, though. They said that it was for hardened steel nozzles. It made them more thermally conductive. But yeah, it's a little guy. I don't know what this is going on. I have no idea what it's going on yet. I do like that it has the mounts for Voron. It is very small. It's super small. I can throw it on. I've got a scale somewhere here. I bought a scale for this type of thing. Yeah, there we go. VZ38. Did I miss what you said, Polar, in response? No custom parts needed, it's optional. Okay. What is it? It's a, I can tell you right now, I have an email. I asked, because I asked some questions about it. I was like, so why? It comes with a standard, like Fadus plated copper nozzle. Oh, there is a groove mount optional. So these are some of the goodies that came along with it. There's a Creality mount, a groove mount, Orbiter V2 mount. I'm probably gonna, yeah, I might end up mounting it on the Orbiter V2 and then slapping it on the KP3S. I don't know. I'm sort of, it sort of feels like a lot to put on the KP3S, but I've just been pumped on that printer. Like it's been good. It's been working really well, which, yeah, but the nozzle, where the hell is the nozzle? There it is. I don't want to open this actually, unless it's, does it say the nozzle thread? Doesn't. I can tell you guys though. There we go. Nozzle. Let's see. Yes, the pack. Thermal conductivity. Okay. It was already necessary to make the nozzle length non-standards. Okay, it says we decided to go with M4 threads. Doorbell rang. Scared me. One second. Okay, whoever was there is gone. Hey, it's okay, Bubba. It's okay. I know. I heard it too. It's okay. Was it a package? No, it's Amazon. Alright, it's okay. Come on, you're okay. Just... You're alright, dude. It was just some bubble mailers. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know anyone that makes an M3 threaded nozzle other than them. They did say, let's see. So the questions I initially asked was on the XG, I said there is a smaller diameter nozzle. Was the main purpose of this for heat transfer? And they said, yes, it's to improve the thermal conductivity for hardened steel nozzles. It was already necessary to make the nozzle length non-standard for, I guess, you know, their design, so we decided to go with M6 or M4. The M6 threads were from RatRig and originally intended for 3mm filament. And then I said, it looks like the nozzle comes with this plated copper. Can you confirm this? Also, will hardened steel be available? And they said, yeah, the main package includes copper plated nozzles, but at the beginning of them selling them, which I don't know what the date is, I'm imagining soon, that they'll have hardened steel available right away. And it says if someone needed hardened steel, they're able to buy them separately as well. So yeah, Zoidberg's looking good. Showing leg. I am really curious to see how it does on... The cooling fan is on, right? Yes. Oh, I'm stupid. I could just check. I could just check the interface. Yeah, 100%. It's not very loud for... at least I don't think it's very loud. I can show you... I can open it up for you guys. I can go to the garage and grab a M6 as well. Here. It is adorable. All right, let me grab, so it's basically a volcano nozzle, like length on this guy. Let me go grab a regular and a volcano nozzle and this one. we'll put them side by side. That way we can see different lengths and different throat sizes. What time is it? All right, there's 20 minutes left on the giveaway, so there's still time. What's up, monkey? I think I've got a drawer full of nozzles out here. Heater cartridges, tactile switches. They're missed nozzles. All right. Okay, so here is a volcano. Here is a gravity style nozzle, and here is a regular. Here's a regular V6. Can you guys hear me well when I'm in the garage? I've always wondered that because I wear it a lot into the garage when I go grab things. Okay, let me set up. I'll lay them down. It's probably easier. Okay, so not quite as long. Dude, it is. The throat is super small. Okay, seeing it next to the other ones is like, damn. One sec. Bear with me. Oh, come on, dude. All right. This doesn't do justice. All right. There's, I don't want to pull the HDMI cable out. Okay, nailed it. There we go. Okay, are we too close? Is that what's happening? What's going on? There we go. You guys can see that, right? Right? It looks decent. Looks okay. Yeah, so, that was rough. Sorry. You guys hear me? Okay, cool. I have a question for you. Anyone else with a KP3S? How much play is in your rails? I'm realizing the carriages. I don't have any play in my bed last time I checked at all. I have not checked on, I can't remember if mine has the rail on the Z, or I think mine has the rail on the X and the Y, but last time I checked Y, there was no play at all. So yeah, those are the nozzles. So, man, it's not very clear. It's kind of annoying. Maybe it's the zoom that's throwing it off. I don't know. That looks a little better. Yeah, so starting at the left, we have the Creality standard nozzle, which has the exact same thread as the one on the right, which is the V6. It's just a shorter throat. So you can typically use a V6 nozzle on any of the printers that take the Creality standard nozzle. You just have a little bit of the throat sticking out. It doesn't affect anything. You just have to adjust your Z offset or your limit switch so you don't scratch your bed. Then on the right of that, we have the standard Volcano nozzle. And then on the right of that, that's the new nozzle for the Fadis drop effect extruder hot end. Not extruder, it's a hot end. So yeah, as you can see, the throat is substantially thinner. It's quite long, definitely longer than the V6. Not quite as long as the standard Volcano. So. Let's get back to Zoidberg now. There we go. It sort of looks like you're printing carrots. That's funny. Hey, what's up, Zerent? We were talking about the Z belt mod for the Ender 3 a little bit ago. All the parts that I ordered for it came in. I just need to get some bolts, and then I need to print out the parts for it. So I am curious. Well, I don't see one difficulty I have, and I've talked about this with quite a few people, is when it comes to not thermistors, when it comes to hot ends and extruders, it's really tough to show how well one performs compared to the other. Like, print-wise, most modern hot ends work pretty damn well, and most modern extruders also work pretty dang well. So it's like longevity isn't something I can show. I can show speed, I suppose. Like, if I hook up a extruder to a hot end and raise it to a certain temp and say, hey, extrude this much this fast, and when it starts clicking, we know, okay, cool, the hot end like can only go this quick at this temp or something like that. But then you just raise the temp to offset that typically. So I don't know, it's tough. Like, I have a hard time with testing out hot ends or extruders. Like, my typical feedback is based off of ease of use and like how things print. But it's, again, like, you know, so much of the printer hardware has gotten so good over the years. There's a lot of really good extruder options, and there's a lot of really good hot end options, depending on budget, depending on, you know, do you want high flow? Do you want easy nozzle change? Like, what's kind of more important to you? Oh, I took out the scale to measure this thing. Or not measure, wait. Okay, so we got, this is without nozzle. I can throw a nozzle on here as well, I suppose, but. So with all of the cables, for the thermistor and heater cartridge also on top, it's 66 grams. With the nozzle, I don't know if you'd count the, oh shit. Don't lose the nozzle that you don't have a replacement for. 68 grams with the nozzle. If I lean the majority of the thermistor, heater cartridge, and fan wire off, it's 42 grams. I don't know how you'd normally weigh it, like if you'd include all the bunch of cables, because technically all of this cable isn't all going to be on your tool head or your gantry. So it's a very small hot end. It looks awesome. The crazy thing too, it doesn't look like it has much of a heat break at all. I'll show you guys again, but it sort of goes from the heater block directly into the, directly into the heatsink. I mean, maybe that little guy in there would be considered the heat break, but there's no super defined heat break that I see. It's interesting. Yeah, it's sort of combined. It's weird. It's definitely a different design. I mean, I like drop effect and I like Fadis, so I have no doubts that it's going to be a pretty slick extruder. I keep saying extruder. Pretty slick hot end. This printer is sponsored by Fabrico, but the kit is where's, one second. Where is, hey, if you have not hit the like button, please smash the like button. I guess I left the page. I think it's 650 roughly. Maybe it depends also if you get the hardware kit's 230. Oh yeah, 660. There is a $25 off coupon in the description, but I think that he said, Hector of Fabrico, that it was good through the build series, and today's the last day of the build series, so I'm not sure how much longer that coupon will be good for. It's for the full kit, not for the hardware kit. But if you have a lot of the components, the hardware kit is also a cool way to build it, and it's mechanical kit is what it's called. It's $229. The heat break is the whole thing. Okay, so there it says the heat break is the whole thing because of how it's mounted. The bolts will carry out a lot of the heat, and the small parts where you see the thin tube is where it breaks. That's all it needs. That's crazy. That's nuts. Hey, what's up, LSE? How does it compare to a Prusa Mini? It's a lot beefier, and it's going to go a lot faster than a Prusa Mini. I have two Prusa Minis, and I like the Prusa Minis. I think that they're like solid printers, they work, but this thing is on a whole nother level. Like, I could put some serious force on the end of this gantry, and it does not budge at all, which the Prusa Mini absolutely is going to bow if I put some weight on it. And like, when I got the Prusa Mini, I had a lot of, I don't want to say issue, but like, there was quite a bit of slop in the cantilever arm, and it took a little bit of work, quite a bit of work, to actually adjust things to get it to be perfectly aligned. Well, that's not the case with this. It's all linear rails. It's 30, 40, 40, 20, 20, 30, 40. It's a beast. It's running Clipper. It's got an LGX light with the Dragonfly hot end stock. It's definitely on a whole new level. Hey, yeah, Eva, it is finished. Everything was super smooth. Well, everything was pretty much super smooth all the way. But like, the instructions were great. I was just saying that, like, once you get to the electronics, there is like zero information other than here's how things plug into the motherboard and good luck. And so for me, like, having never used this tool head, I was trying to initially route all the wires over the top of it because like, that makes sense. I'll just kind of bundle it back here. And then afterwards on stream last week, I was looking around and I was like, wait a minute, there's some zip tie slots back here. And then I started looking down, I was like, there's a groove there. I could probably pass some stuff through. And then I saw these, but if I hadn't been prodding at it and people hadn't been in chat kind of helping and guide the way, I wouldn't have known that. So for me, like, I do think that the RatRig V-Minion instructions for the electronics, they just, there needs to be more. Like, it would have been really nice to have some sort of a, hey, like, just so you know, with the tool head, like, there's zip ties, or we recommend, you know, going underneath because there's these like channels for the wires. I think that took quite a lot of time just because I felt like I was sort of going in blind. And I actually went on Printables last week and just searched V-Minion to find mods so I can find photos of how people did their wiring to get an idea of it. So hardware was easy or very straightforward. Wiring was interesting. And then RatRig OS has been awesome. And the like built-in super slicer profile, although we've discovered that it's kind of a, although it is kind of, I'm brain farting. Oh yeah, conservative speed-wise. It's conservative speed-wise. It's still nice to be able to have it all really quick and easy to set up. I'm really excited to, wait, when we put the X on the Z for the first time, the comment someone made was, yeah, you could hang your weight on it. Yeah, it's nuts. It is such a rigid frame. Like, it is disgustingly rigid. Having the KP3S and the Prusa Mini, it's like no comparison as far as the actual like rigidity of the machine. It's night and day difference. But yeah, I'm excited to upgrade. The changes I think I will be doing to this in the coming months is the V3D breakout board for the wiring, upgrading to the 3.0 toolhead, and I want to do something different with this. I'm cool with the side box. I might end up just slightly modifying the STLs to make this a bit wider, and then get my own acrylic and laser cut out different mounting points, because I actually want to install a touchscreen for Clipper screen into the side panel box. I think that would be awesome. And then it would also be kind of cool too, because of the Raspberry Pi, if either going with a different Raspberry Pi or if I use this one, to have some sort of a USB port or dongle that extends once you have access to the USB from outside for running Input Shaper. So I have a couple, but like the main, it's an awesome printer as is. Nothing has to be done with it, but I think that those are the things I will do. Like I want to see what the 3.0 is like. And I do think that for future maintenance, having the breakout board will be much nicer than having to go through the wire, the cable wrap every time I need to do anything. Ava's documentation is lacking. I never had the time to make it nice. Also, it was changing too fast. That's fair. It's a cat and mouse game. Even at where I work at Lightburn, like the software is evolving constantly, and so the second documentation is good, it's like, oh, there's a new feature, we need to update it. So yeah, I get it. I actually didn't necessarily think that the documentation on the toolhead was lacking. It was more just in the RatRig manual, like in the Dazuki guide. So like, so you have the assembly of the toolhead here, and then you've got the electronics enclosure, which took some time because of all of the nut traps, but it still wasn't a big deal. It's just that once you get beyond this and you get here, it's basically just, this is it. This is what you get, is this guy right here. And so, you know how to plug things in, but just so much of the hardware and software feels like so much time has been spent to really walk the user through it, that just the wiring feels like it is kind of an oversight as far as the details of it. And I mean, luckily, again, looking at it, I've built quite a few printers and there was a lot of people in chat that were willing to help, but I could see that being sort of a struggle for someone that just hasn't really built any printers before. No, I'm not. I'm not. I do video work. So if you go on Lightburn's YouTube channel, I make a lot of the videos on the software. Basically what I do on YouTube, which is take something complicated and try to make it where it's more understandable. That's essentially what I do, is take like how to set up a laser or how to use a certain tool and then like use it in a practical or functional, I guess practical application would be more correct. No, I've got like a little bit of experience playing around with Python. I would love to learn more, but no, I can't call myself a software engineer. All that cooling was a huge deal and a lot of work. Yeah, I'll have to do the 3. I like this head, though I like the normal LGX. Even if you get some free time, I'm currently redesigning my TBG light mount. It would be good to add since it is a nice little extruder. You should add a 4028 fan when you do EVA 3. Is that an option? Is there a mounting solution for it? I thought there was going to be an electronics manual for the V-Minion by now. Yeah, it feels like there should be something. I was interested in building a toolhead from Ender 5 Plus, but at the time I wasn't confident in my ability to adapt it to the printer mods. Oh, gotcha. Is it because of the orientation? Like, I think that because I really want to install the EVA toolhead onto the KP3S with the orbiter and the new hot end from Drop Effect, but I know that the design is for a top-mounted linear rail and not a front-mounted. Is that the difficulty, Michael? That you just didn't know how to adapt it to top-mounted? I might play around with it a little bit. We'll see. I know 760 was saying that he'd love to do a 3.0 on his KP3S, but also didn't want to go through the remixing of it to make it where it's top-mountable. I took the LGX mount and added the holes. The front ones barely are able to be screwed in, but it's working very well. The Rapido, miles better than a Stealth Burner. I have a 4028 fans waiting for the upgrade again. Okay, that's right. You're waiting to do it all. I threw an H2 on the KP3S. I have an H2. It is going on a different printer in the nearest future. But on the KP3S, I'd really like to do the 3.0 with the orbiter and that new hot end, I think it would be a monster. Hey, everybody, for the giveaway, I'm going to remove the form in another minute here. So if you haven't entered into the Polymaker giveaway, the link is pinned in the description. We'll give it another minute just because I usually announce like a 2 or 3 minute. Still looking really good. I'm curious to see how the removal of the supports are gonna go. I don't think I haven't used much supports with Super Slicer. I've got quite a bit of experience with Cura, which it's okay. I really sort of fell in love with the Prusa Slicer supports. They are awesome. My current EV2 as an EBM pass 5015 as he prints in Protopasta. I need to get more Polymaker in. I haven't gotten a single spool from Polymaker sent to me. All the Polymaker I have is stuff, well, that's not true. They like a year and a half ago or so, some of the Polyterra when it first came out, but all the other Polymaker stuff is stuff that I've purchased, and it's all like ABS, ASA, and PETG, which is the issue. The only non PETG or ABS I have, or like advanced material, is their Polyterra, but I'm pretty much out of almost all of it. I think I've got black and a little bit of gray left. Nothing too fun. A printer needs to adjust EVA. EVA is the standard. That way, when a printer is EVA compatible, automatically compatible with everything that EVA brings. Yeah, I think that, is there a checklist sort of as to what's required to make a printer compatible? I mean, it's primarily just the mounting points, right? I wonder how hard it would be to just change the linear rail location and the motor mount on the KP3S. At least bring on a spool of Galaxy Dark Blue. I need to, maybe I'll reach out to Polymaker and see if they'll send a couple of cool colors over, because it would be fun to print with some of their filament on stream, especially considering every stream they're sponsoring a giveaway. Hey, Bruno, it looks like G-Funny, the gifted sub finally came through for Bruno. Thank you for the gifted sub. It's so weird. It only took like an hour and a half. Okay, removing the link for the giveaway. Unpin. Let's see how many. Nice, 74 responses. That's pretty good. All right, let me copy. 75 responses, sneaky, sneaky. Mounting points and the overall size, not to lose print volume, gotcha. Yeah, it is printing. It's printing quite well. Okay, gotcha. I might have to look into it then. Originally, the plan was to see if I can modify the tool head, but maybe I can just modify the rail setup on the KP3S. I don't know, I gotta look into it. Okay. All right, scrolling down, 75. Let's make sure that everyone gets copied over. 75, awesome, sweet. All right, wheel of names. Can the headstand up to 450C nozzle run into a slight issue with the head falling off? Geez, 450C? What, are you trying to do peak and ultim? I have never printed above 300C. 300C has been my cap. Because every printer that has been able to print, yeah. Most of the printers that can print that hot would have been when I was working at Matter Hackers, and 300C is typically what they were firmware locked at. The only exception was the Intamsys Fun Mat that could print peak and ultim. But I never did the peak and ultim printing. It was the lab team because of how expensive the material is. All right, we are doing our weekly Polymaker filament giveaway. Massive thank you to Polymaker. They are awesome. They make a fantastic range of different materials from PLAs to advanced. and engineering plastics. If you are interested in trying out their materials, there's a link in the description, and it also does support the channel and lets them know that some people are going over there, which is awesome because it keeps them supporting our streams. But they're awesome. They're a big supporter of the community, and they allow us to do this every single week, which is super cool. So let's shuffle this up. Good luck to everybody, as always. And with that, let's spin the wheel. Hey, Edwin, congratulations. You are... I love the confetti. I got for the 1,000 subscriber stream is why I found this, but I love it so much. Congratulations, Edwin. So I will reach out to you via email later on tonight and just send you a form, and all you have to do is say, this is the filament I want, this is the color I want, and this is my address, and then like where you won the giveaway from. Congrats. Congratulations. That is a... I'm Edwin, says John. I backed Polymaker's original Kickstarter. Oh, nice. Yeah, you've been printing for a long time, John. I've seen you around a lot in other streams and just online. But today when you talked about when you bought your TP, I was like, yep, you're an OG. There are many questions here. I was thinking if you'd ever like to phone me in to answer those live, it's something we could do. That would be a ton of fun. I have never done, well, it's been years since I've done any sort of interview setup. I was on Nero's Hangout on a Friday, but I would need to figure out how to sort of pull that from Discord or something like that. But if there is interest in that, I would certainly not be against it. Out of curiosity, what is the best way to get a hold of you typically? Is Discord or email or? Because that could be fun. That could be a lot of fun. Yeah, I like Polyterra a lot. I'm pretty sure all of this is poly. No. Yeah, I know it is. I'm nearly positive this is all Polyterra. All of these right here. Where is that roll of Polyterra? It's somewhere over here. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, like this is this is one of my rolls of Polyterra. Not a whole lot left. It's basically gone. I'm saving it for printing out more of these because I guess there's like a couple black hooks, but I was trying to keep the colors a little bit uniform. I don't know why. Everything else on here is so loud with oranges and reds, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I've got that. And then I've got, I think this is, no, it's ABS, but I have a black Polyterra somewhere. Other than that, it's all gone to the printers. Discord, okay, cool. I would imagine you're in the RatRig Discord, right? So I can go in there and then just add you. I will do that though, because I think that might be fun. Just to talk a little bit about the history of the toolhead, the inception of it, and kind of like plans, I don't know, everything. The exact nickname is in the docs. It'd be fun to include you in one of the Polymaker streams too. Get Powell on stream would be great. I had a bad time on a big print with Polyterra. I need to try it out again sometime. It prints similar to PLA, but a little bit different. I pretty much printed at the exact same settings, but I've had to adjust, I want to say temp a little bit. I think a little bit cooler. Oh, it's your server. Okay, perfect then. Yeah, because I know I'm in there. I was lurking in the RatRig Discord for many months. Thanks for popping in again, though. It's definitely cool seeing you in chat. And it's awesome seeing the printer up and running. So far, the toolhead's performing great. I've gotten through a lot of Polyterra. Wow, 20 kgs. Yeah, I think I've probably printed through about 6 or 7 kilograms of Polyterra. My daughter is called Ava. Oh! That's funny. One of my wife's best friend's daughters is Ava. Short for Aveline. I think game plan is we'll stream for another 20 minutes or so, and then we'll probably end it today. The last couple of weeks have been pretty long streams just because of my determination and severe lack of estimation as far as how long it would take to build the V-Minion. Like, last week's stream was 4 hours and 18 minutes, the week before was 4:30, the week before was 3:45, and the week before was 2 hours and 40 minutes, which is nuts. So, today's will be a bit quicker. Next week we'll definitely be assembling the Sovol SV04 IDEX printer, which I would imagine will be pretty quick. Based off the size of the box, I'm thinking they probably have it nearly assembled. And then if the heat breaks, the bimetal heat breaks I ordered for it show up by then, maybe we'll install them on stream, because I really, IDEX printers are sick, but they're almost always PTFE lined, except for like the real expensive ones from like Craftbot or BCN 3D. And so I've only used them primarily with PLA. I would love to have the ability to print dual like PTGs, dual nylons and stuff like that, and just like crazy combinations of materials. Oh, wow. Panzer, thank you very much for the 5 gifted memberships. That's awesome. I don't know. I think the gifted memberships is slightly broken today. G-Funny gifted one earlier, and it took an hour and a half for it to actually give the gift. And normally it would be right away. For some reason, yours... I have a feeling yours is going to do the same thing. I should be able to... So, if the gifted subs come after the stream ends, next stream, remind me at the beginning, and I will like announce it or say who got them. Because if I look right now in Stream Elements, I don't think it shows. Yeah, it doesn't show it. It's like there's a delay going on. Oh wait, there we go. Maybe. No, it looks like it might be working. If it comes from my wife's name. Oh, cool. That's awesome. There we go. Yeah, it's coming through. Armorcraft, you got a sub. Thank you, Panzer. I really appreciate the support, man. We've had that discussion before. I just broke the heat brake screws off. Oh no! Just broke the heat brake screws off in the hot end on my MF3V2 today. Time to get a Revo CR or see about the Fadus XG. Oh, that sucks, man. Yeah, it's coming through. Jack. Wait, I don't know if Jack. Yeah, Jack was gifted as well. Okay, awesome. It's funny. So, this needs to get out of the way. The workbenches I'm building for the garage are like mobile, and they're sort of modular in the sense that you can connect them long ways. They're let me go back 1 second. It's gonna be easier just to show. Why explain what I can show? Okay. So they have these bolts. There's 4 along the side, or holes, right? 4 along the side and 2 in the front. Dan, hey, Dan, thank you for renewing your membership. Good night, all. I need to do, oh man. Yeah, have a good night's sleep. There's 2 on the short side and 4 on the long side, but they all match up with each other. So like you can have, 2 hooked up to 4 and then another one here or whatever, which is awesome. Because I currently plan on using them in a configuration of 1 long way for the CNC, and 1 long way and 1 long way for the CO2. But it's kind of funny because originally I was looking at options online on things you can just sort of buy from like Uline or as a kit. And I thought like, okay, this will be cool because it will be something I can have for a long time. I like the setup of this, and it will probably be less expensive if I do it myself. No. I because I haven't had a garage before, like since I moved out, I didn't have any of the things, and so the wood itself wasn't that bad. Like the 3/4 inch ply, which it was nice plywood, was I think like $78, and that's enough for top and bottom of 2 carts. And then 2x4s aren't super expensive, but the clamps were like $40 for clamps. The most inexpensive jigsaw, or not jigsaw, circular saw they had was like $65, and then I needed a, like, it's just all of the little tools added up. And so at least I have it now, and so when I do build 2 more for the CO2 laser, I won't need to rebuy them. But it's just like in my head what I thought it was going to cost, and then going to the checkout line after having it in the cart was just 2 very different things. It's always like that with DIY stuff. Like yeah, and then all the time that goes into it. I probably spent, I left Home Depot at 6, and I got inside around 11:30 or midnight last night. And then this morning I got out in the garage and started up the drill at 9 o'clock. I didn't want to do it earlier because I didn't want to be jerked to my neighbors. And then I was out in the garage working on it until about noon. So it's always that way, but it is really rewarding. And I will say, when I went to bed and I looked at the cart, although it doesn't have wheels on it, so technically it's a bench right now and not a cart, it's a really rewarding feeling. But it's certainly a lot of work, and also quite costly. Oh yeah, Kyle, I love that guy's videos, the outtakes at the end with his corgi. Yeah, I had Erin watch this yesterday because I wanted to sell her on the idea before I went out and bought all the stuff for it, and she loved the bloopers at the end with the corgi. The corgi is always there with like a ball or a squeaky toy. I hadn't actually seen his videos prior to this cart video, and then afterwards I started watching other ones about like French cleats and his CNC station and stuff like that. But yeah, the corgi's awesome. Panzer, I really enjoy watching you, Steve Nero, so I contribute what I can back to you. Well, I definitely appreciate it. I've said it many times, but like, nothing is ever expected. I started streaming because I thought it would be a fun way to connect with a lot of people on the main channel and new people. Like, I've made and built a lot of friendships through YouTube over the decade I've been on here, but like, a lot of them are with creators, and not that there's anything wrong with that. It's awesome talking to other creators in the space, but like, it's harder to really like connect with people through a comment once a week or every other week or something like that. And so the Discord was sort of the first step in that direction, which was way more, like, has been way more awesome and rewarding than ever could have imagined. Although I'm not nearly as active as I'd like to be, but the streaming was sort of the next step, and it's been just so much fun. And I mentioned quite a few times, like, starting off, I was nervous. Like, I have been making videos for a long time, but like, I'm a pretty inverted, nope, not inverted. Every time I try to talk on stream, my words, introverted, not inverted. If Alien was here, he would pin that. I'm pretty introverted in general. Like, I talk a lot, yes, but I'm just alone doing my own thing and projects a lot. And so for me, like, it's way different being able to be on camera and edit things out and like script things out and have things a certain way versus just being live. And it's like, it's so raw, like, and I was quite nervous for a long time. Like, I still have moments before going on stream where I'm like, oof, or get like sort of a little bit nervous, but like, it's been awesome. The amount of cool people I've met in the community through streaming, it's just unreal. So I appreciate it. Yeah, all the support, again, everyone just coming and hanging out is awesome, and I really appreciate it. And I know that not everyone can, or everyone supports in different ways, but if you are able to, I definitely appreciate things like gifted subs or, you know, whatever anyone's able to do. It all helps out with being able to dedicate more time and resources into like content and video gear and all that stuff. So yeah, I do really appreciate that. John said I like watching Charlie, not Steve. That's messed up. I put on Steve this last Sunday when he was working on the OG printer and was showing Erin Charlie. I'm still trying to sort of desensitize her to a cat, but I don't think we're gonna be getting a cat super soon, but we will be getting a cat at some point. And so for now, I'm kind of like, there's a cat across the street named Minnie that's also a orange-haired cat that is adorable. And so through Minnie and through Steve's channel is kind of like me getting my cat fix for now. It's not quite the same, but you know. Unless you can buy wholesale, it's always more expensive to build something with, yeah. $200 of wood and $1,000 of tools. Yeah, I will say though, like, looking at what was out there, there's a lot of noises, and I am so far behind. Holy cow. Did if I missed something, I'm sorry. There is a lot of stuff going on. Holy crap. Oh my god. Luke with the 10 gifted subs. Thank you, man. Oh my god. Everyone's gonna be green. That is awesome. Thank you very much, Luke, for the support. I really appreciate it. That is nuts. I miss chat. I apologize. I'm trying to make my way through, but everyone knows that I get quite distracted. Did you know people in Idaho before you moved here? I did not. I know, well, Pi lives in Idaho. He's actually quite local to me, which has been awesome. But I met him through YouTube and Discord, and that's it. Aaron has a girlfriend that lives like 4 or 5 hours away. I know nobody here. I have no family. Other than, like I'm saying, like other than Pi, I don't know anybody out here. I'd only been to Idaho once for 2 days for Aaron's girlfriend's wedding, like 4 years ago. I didn't get to see any of it. It was all through online research, and God, it's insane. There's so much happening. Everyone already knows that like I'm such a scatterbrain. Like my personality is very much like squirrel. And then having the noises in my ear and trying to keep up with chat, it is so much happening. Oh, yeah, I love cats. Jose, I had a dog, golden retriever, until I was about, I think, 8 or 9. Then he passed away. And then we got a cat that was a rescue, and then another cat, and we had them. They lived to be 16, I think 16 each. And they were awesome. One of them was like my cat, and my brother's, but she was like a huge Maine Coon style cat, and she was awesome. In my old videos, she would always hop up in the back and like patty cake on the bed, and some people would totally watch the videos just to see if they'd spot Sabrina was her name. And then we had another smaller cat named Misty. And then I got Delilah, who's a dog, when I worked at PetSmart 10 years ago. And then Erin brought Monkey. She got Monkey, our other dog, probably the first year into us dating. So he's about 6 years old at this point. But yeah, I really want a cat. Erin's like, yeah, cats, but I think it's just because she's never had a cat. She didn't grow up with them, and so she just doesn't know how cool cats are. That's insane. Yeah, thank you, Luke. I don't know. It looks like so far it's grabbed a couple of them. I don't know how long it'll take to gift them all away, or like to gift them to all of the people. But I think it'll take a little bit. Hey, BB's is here. What's going on? How long do I plan? How do you claim gift? Oh, you have to claim them? I don't know. I don't know. I've never been gifted a sub. Always nice to have your streams on when working on the machines here. I do the same thing with Steve or Nero. I love when I'm working on 3D printer stuff, or even when I'm recording videos, because I typically do audio separate from video other than talking head. I'll have them on in the background all the time. And it's actually kind of funny because when I go to edit a video and I listen to the audio, which I don't use it, but I still hear it while I'm playing back, the amount of times I hear Aaron saying, like singing or saying silly stuff, or like someone's stream on in the background, it always makes me crack up. It's kind of funny. And then like, it takes me back to like, oh yeah, that's right. That's what I was watching when I was recording this. How long do I plan on living where, in Idaho or here specifically? I want to buy a house, and the reason I want to buy a house is because it's something I've always wanted to do, and because of the amount of like not normal stuff I do as far as machinery and things, I want to be able to like drill a hole in a wall and not, you know, and I can't do that renting. So it really depends on a lot of factors. If they let us rent here another year after this, we maybe will. It depends on the housing market and the economy. I don't know. But in Idaho, if that's what you're asking, so far I love it. It's been stupid hot, like triple digits most days for the 2.5 months that we've been here. But it looks like this week we have a day where I think it's in the 80s, which is awesome. But we finally, we went kayaking for the first time this last weekend, which was awesome, and I plan on doing a lot more outdoorsy stuff. So I love it so far. It's been so hot. I've primarily been inside. Looks like Dane got membership. I think I can see, yeah, it's broken. The notifications are super broken. Looks like Dane got a membership. Let me go back. So, Biscuits and Jamie got a membership from Luke. Zen did. Dane did. Matthew did. R did. And I think there's still, oh, 3DP UK, right? Got one? Yep. And there should still be 4 more. My company, oh, interesting. My company will allow me to work anywhere in the US. Yeah, that's why it worked for us, is because I started working at Lightburn in November of last year, and it's a full remote position. So as long as I have internet and my video equipment, and this is better because it's a laser company. I was doing laser videos in my living room at our last place, which was super interesting and really limited what I was able to do for Lightburn. So now I could do all of the laser stuff, which is awesome. Okay, there's that one. Yeah, everybody's green. It's crazy. Yeah, I'm in, I think Pie City's in Nampa. I'm in between Nampa and Caldwell. Some stuff says that our address is in Nampa, and then some of it says we're in Caldwell. So somewhere on the border of that area. But yeah, Luke says it'll be interesting to see how winter goes. So as far as snow, I don't think snow is that bad in this area, like southern Idaho. I did a lot of research because we were originally looking, not originally, we were at one point looking at eastern Idaho as well. And eastern Idaho gets, like the area we're looking at was like double the snow of here. Much closer to Yellowstone, much closer to Salt Lake. And it was a little bit concerning because I've been around snow. My parents have a cabin in California about an hour from where I was born and raised, where they do get snow a fair amount during wintertime, just much higher elevation. But I've never lived in it. And so the idea of snow and 4 seasons sounds awesome. The idea of having to constantly shovel my way out, or like for Erin, because she doesn't work remotely, she works locally, like having to shovel the driveway out for her and stuff constantly and deal with all that, it didn't seem so cool. And so this place seemed like a really good happy medium to where you get the 4 seasons, but it's not too insane in any direction. That being said, the winters still get pretty cold. And I know that like cold or hot is very much so dependent on your opinion and where you live in the world, but like just to look at, for example, my throat is getting irritated. Okay, so looking at like Nampa, right? Let's go screen share. So this hasn't been accurate based off of living here. Like it says the average high in June or July is 92 or 83. It's been like, average has been like 98 or 99. But going based off this, you know, high of 50 in November, low of 28 in November, that's a pretty cold range. December, 40 and 22, that's a cold range. 38 and 21, 46 and 26, that's pretty damn cold. At least from someone coming from, you know, California, like where I was born and raised my whole life is Riverside, CA, average weather. So this is what I'm used to. And this is, I don't know why, like seems off to me. In July, I can't remember like a July where average days were 94. It was triple digits a lot, but we're talking like the coldest it got was in the 40s, but the days were still, you know, upper 60s. So it's gonna be interesting. I will be investing in flannels. I have a lot of flannels, but more of them, and thermals and stuff like that. But I think I can deal with the cold. It's just heavy amounts of snow that would be interesting. So I guess we'll see. Let's check out our print. It's still looking really good. It's got, look at that upper leg action going on. Yeah, it's looking solid. I'm really curious to see how it does with the arm overhangs. I will post photos later on in the Discord. Chikaro, you got a membership. Silicone consumables for. I think you need a shovel every day, even if you work at home. Otherwise, you'll never get out. That's fair. You're probably right. Although I do work from home, I do occasionally go out. Last night we got Domino's pizza. So yeah, you're right. You're right, CNC. Yeah. Okay. So Jada's in Norway. My mom and my mom's side of the family pretty much all live in Sweden, and I've only been there during summers, but I know the winters are absolutely brutal. I'm also, one thing I'm curious to see too is so Idaho is much further north than where I was at in Southern California, and one thing that took us by surprise was how long the days are light here. The first month and a half or 2 months, sun didn't go down until 10 o'clock. Ow. Oh, there's Ender 3 behind me. It didn't get dark till 10 o'clock, while in California, I'm like 6 o'clock sometimes, like by 7 for sure. So it's gonna be interesting. I would imagine winters will be the opposite, where it'll be shorter days, and so I'm curious to see what that's like. Pi says lowest I've seen in 17 years is -7, but that was just for one night. Oof. Hopefully that's not a, hopefully it doesn't come back. Lisa, are you saying that here is rather warm, or the Riverside where I'm from? My father was a semiconductor process engineer who built the world's first plasma. Oh, cool. That's awesome. Mitchell went to school one day in the winter, and it was, I love to get away from North America, but my friends and family roots are too deep. I think it's 240 volts in the transformer where they split the box. Cold is easier than heat. Yeah, so cold I think is fine. Snow I think could be a different scenario. A lot of snow I think could be quite tough. But yeah, I agree. I mean, sure, you can run the AC, but it's like, for example, in the garage last night, I was like dripping sweat. It was probably 98 to 100 in the garage, and I was working on the workbench last night. And I mean, I was like waterworks. It was gross. And I was only wearing, a tank top. No, I wasn't wearing a tank top. I was wearing a thin t-shirt and shorts. While if it was cold, I'd be out there just wearing a flannel or something like that. So I agree. I think it's easier to adjust. Oh, that's right. I totally forget you're in Sweden. That's awesome. How far are you from like Gothenburg? That's where a good amount of my family is. Then my grandparents have a speech or like a summer house in, I don't know how you spell it, but my mom pronounces it Urust. The city or the town's called Urust, and it's like just forest, like dense forest. Houses are pretty spread out, and there's a lot of ocean. It's ocean, not the Mediterranean. Yeah, it's definitely ocean. Mr. Gear got a sponsor got a membership from Luke, and Pierre did as well. The lack of sun during the winter, that's like the UK where I'm from. 9:30 sunset in summer. Yep, but very short daylight hours. I'm curious to see how I do. Like I imagine I'll be sleeping much more. I was involved in the early 2000s in growing larger silicone crystals with her team. There is rather warm. Central New York, we have had Februarys when it. Oh my God, yeah, that's crazy. I don't think not that I couldn't do that. I think it would be much harder for me to adapt, just considering that I'm used to the Southern California, you know, really mild weather. In winter here, I used to go to work before sunrise and go home. That's crazy. God, yeah. Yeah, well, it'll be interesting. I'm excited. I don't know. I've traveled a lot when I was younger because of my mom being from out of the country. And then the first 2 years that I worked at Matter Hackers, I traveled a ton as well within the States. And I was like one of the primary people doing trade shows for them. And I got to see so many places. And I'm like, wow, there's a lot of awesome places out there in the States. And like, I love the outdoors. My idea of fun is, well, other than working on 3D printers and machinery and building stuff, is being outside, like hiking, like kayaking now apparently, but like I was skateboarding a lot growing up and always doing like camping and stuff as a kid. Like I just love the outdoors. To me, nature, it's nice to disconnect from, as much as I love technology and I need to get better at, you know, making time to disconnect, I do really enjoy disconnecting and just being out in nature. Yeah, Urust. That looks like how I would imagine it is probably spelled. Urust. Let's see. Urust, Sweden. Yeah, this looks like it. At my grandparents' house, they have like a dock, and they used to have a sailboat. But yeah, that looks right. It looks right. I guess it is spelled simple. Orust is an island. No. I'll have to ask my mom. It says it's an island. I don't remember taking a ferry to Orust. I thought we drove every time, but maybe I'm wrong. I'll have to ask. I don't remember it being there's a lot of islands around it for sure. When I was younger, there was a kid that lived next to us and his parents had a small motorboat and we would take it and go to the little islands that are like uninhabited, but I don't remember Orust being an island. Watching in bed now, but here in Poland. Oh, you're in Poland. Oh my God. Yeah, it's absolutely insane. I told Aaron, cause like I'm pretty hairy. I'm sure you guys have seen it on some of the streams when my arm gets in front of the camera, but I said like, I'm Swedish. Like it's the Viking in me. I've got the hair to survive those cold winters. So I'm hoping I'll do okay. I'm from Florida and work on the road. Looking forward to seeing a change in seasons. Are you moving, Matthew, from Florida? I used to go to Oslo twice a year for work, middle of summer and middle of winter. Oh wow, Portugal. I've been to Portugal once. The last time I was in Sweden, my uncle had a place in Portugal. I think it was like a condo, because big building and like shared space, but they were going to be selling it because they were older and it was on the second or third floor and there's no elevator there. And so we went there before they sold it, and Portugal was awesome. The main things I remember were some of the nicest people I ever met. Nightlife was insane. All ages, like there was always something going on and it was normal to see families out walking around at like 11 or 12 at night, which was crazy. Cool art scene and good food. There was a farmer's market right next to our place, and we went there a couple times and got like a bunch of olives, like different seasoned olives, and it was incredible. So Portugal's awesome. Like it was also, my dad rented a surfboard for me and I got to surf in Portugal, and it was, I think it was freezing where we surfed. I feel like we had rented long suit or full suits, but it was incredible. It was so fun. So Portugal was very cool. Gothenburg is far down in the south. I live more in the middle, just below. Okay, gotcha. So below the capital. Yes, John, when they were going to transition to fourth female, I'm a Brit by birth, but yeah, it's cold. Grow some winter fur. Bogus Basin is close. Bogus Basin, that's in Idaho, right? It sounds really familiar, like it's here and someone's talking about it recently. Yeah, Bogus, okay, sick. And they've got, Bogus Basin is ski and snowboarding as well, resort. Yeah, area ski resort, cool. Oh, you know what? I think the mountain biking is what I watched. There's a YouTube channel I discovered recently when we were looking at different kayak spots, and they go basically show all the cool outdoor stuff. So like insane hiking, and one of the places they showed had like I think it was a biking course where your bike hooks up to what's essentially the same thing as a ski or snowboard lift, and it takes you to the top of the hill. And it was, God, how long? I can't remember how many miles down it said it was, but it looked super cool. I was showing Aaron that and said that it would be awesome to go and rent bikes for the day and do that. And I think it was maybe Bogus Basin. I don't know what city in Portugal. I'd have to ask my parents too. The last time I went to Europe, when I was younger, my parents used to go and take me every like 3 years. And that stopped when I turned 13. 13, it was the summer between freshman year to sophomore year. And I graduated in 2010. And so it was 2 years before. I mean, it's been, yeah, I was 13 or 14 and I'm turning 30 next month. So it's been a while. I don't remember. I'd have to ask, but I can absolutely find out. Oh, Lisbon. Oh, that's awesome. I'm moving to, oh, you're moving, CNC, because you're in San Diego right now, CNC, right? Moving to Las Vegas. Hotter in the summer with monsoons and colder in the winter. I know Vegas, well, not even just Vegas, but Nevada in general has exploded, just like Idaho has and Texas. But as far as just people moving from California, one of my friend's neighbors that goes to Vegas a lot for like camping, I think, not Vegas, Nevada, for camping and outdoor stuff. They recommended Vegas to me when we were looking at places to live. That's awesome. I'm excited for you. No, I work in telecommunications and travel. Oh, cool. And still live in Florida. Gotcha. That's kind of cool. Does it get tough? I mean, I would imagine if you've got family, it can get kind of tough. Like when doing trade show stuff, which I don't know again how much you travel for work with telecommunications, but when the trade show stuff was going on with Matter Hackers, I enjoyed it at first. But after a while, especially when it was like back to back, or there was one where I went to San Francisco, I was up there for 3 days and then I didn't get to go home. I instantly went to Detroit for another show, and that show went for like 5 or 6 days. And then I was back for 2 weeks. And then I was like in, I think, New Orleans. It was fun, but it got exhausting. And after a while, I just wanted to be home. So I like traveling, but I definitely like, to an extent. Bogus has stuff in summer too. That's awesome. I mean, I'll have to check it out. Bogus Basin. I pulled it up on the screen here. Oh, Lisbon. Let's see. Let me search. Well, this has been a fun chat. Oh, capital. Okay, capital Portugal. Yeah, we went. There was a city we stayed in, and then there was a city we drove to a couple times. That I'll have to text my. Let me float off a text so that I'll forget. So that way next week's stream. Let's see. Okay. Hey guys, do you know the city we stayed in when we were in Portugal? Just say stream chat is asking, and I don't remember. All right, they'll get back to me next week. Someone remind me. Oh, Bogus Basin's pretty close then, because Boise's only like 20. I mean, it depends on. It's crazy. The traffic coming back from Boise to Nampa, or when Aaron gets off. Like when I go to the hardware store, this street that we're on, it gets pretty backed up, where it'll take me like 6 red lights and green lights for me to actually be able to go. Let me see. Okay, bogus basin. Directions from your location. Google Maps does not have permission. Awesome. Okay, let's just do the city. Nampa. Yeah, it looks like as of right this second, it's about an hour drive. That's not bad at all. That's freaking sweet. That is super cool. It can be hard. I'm generally on the road for about 10. Oh, wow. Do you have, I mean, like, at home, do you live alone, or do you live, like, friends, wife, kids? I would imagine it's, you know, are you, within those 10 months, for the 10 months that you're away, you're not gone for the entire 10 months, though, right? I would imagine there's trips back and forth. Bringing a dog would make it substantially better. If I had, well, Delilah's a big dog. She'd be tough to take care of, but she definitely has made the last 10 years of my life a lot better. She's awesome. So I could definitely see that being pretty sweet. I think we'll stream for, what time is it? It's almost, oh, is it almost 4 o'clock here our time? So Aaron's almost off. Sweet. I think we'll stream for another 10 minutes, and then we will call it for the day. And next week we'll bust out the IDEX printer, and then we'll decide depending on it. I did get a notification that the heat brakes have shipped. I think they're shipping from China though, which makes me not convinced it'll be here in 7 days, but if it does show up, maybe we can install those on stream too. If not, we'll just get the printer set up, calibrated, and then start a dual color print. This is cranking along, looking great. Again, I'm confident everything will turn out great, except I'm not sure how those arms are gonna do. I feel like it would need some really aggressive cooling to be able to print those overhangs successfully, but I will post that. In Discord later on today. Wife, no kids. Okay, cool. I was saying maybe that makes it a little bit easier. I mean, I'm sure it makes it a little bit easier. And maybe wife is able to meet up sometimes or something like that. Because back then, like, me and Aaron weren't married, but we were living together, and she typically was more like, after a day, I miss you, while me, I'm like, I can do my own thing for a week and be cool, but it was definitely, like, sleeping alone in some hotel room got kind of weird and stuff like that, but I don't know, you gotta do what you gotta do, and I'm sure that you enjoy the job, or the job is a good job and pays well, and so that's why you do it, so, you know, it's sort of like that's how I saw the travel when I was doing the traveling, was it's part of the job, and, like, focus on the positives of it, and, you know, that's really all you can do, so. Check my second ones on Discord. Second one's on Discord. Where did you post? Is it on... Did you post in the Modbot Discord? The Modbot Army Discord? Yeah, I get to... Oh, okay, there we go. Yeah, I get to go home every 6 weeks, or someone comes to see me in company. Oh, sick. Okay, that's rad. That's super cool. So, I mean, 6 weeks is still a long time, don't get me wrong. But I'm sure it's not like anything else in life. It's weird at the beginning, and the more you do it, it just becomes normal. But that's sweet that work pays for that, which means that they do care about your quality of life to an extent at least, which is awesome. But yeah, that's wicked cool. Also, Airbnbs are way sweeter than hotels. Unless you're like trying to meet up with a bunch of people, like at Murph, everyone stays in hotels, which is cool because everyone hangs out and talks and like has beers and stuff. But otherwise, I would much rather be in an Airbnb, have my own space, and Airbnb is also going to be much better with a dog. We can't take the dogs to a hotel. Delilah is pretty well behaved. Monkey's a psycho. Definitely can't go to a hotel, but when we went on a trip to Arizona, Airbnb was great. They are fine on their own. They get their little backyard, so that's sweet. What kind of dog do you have, or did you get? Oh, you posted in fur babies. Fur babies. Oh my god. I just saw the staffies. Oh my god. Dude. Those are awesome looking dogs. These are, Joda posted these in the Discord. I love the fur babies room so much. I don't remember why it was started. It was probably when Zerunt and Aggie were talking about their dogs, and I was like, we need to get a room for all the fur babies. But it is one of my favorite channels in the Discord. I don't, because I haven't been able to keep up with the channels, which clearly you can see by all of the white, when I do get a chance to go through and see all of the, like, everyone's dogs and cats, and I think that's primarily what gets posted. It's always awesome. That's sweet. The dogs are adorable. Let's go backside. Sees a Chihuahua Terrier. Nice. Well, smaller size definitely makes it easier, I'm sure, for travel. Are you flying primarily then, Matthew, or are you primarily driving with the like telecommunications? I never considered that Brexit. I didn't know it was a just before the vote. Game plan is Aaron gets home. I ran out of screws for the second bench. Part of the reason I ran out of screws, I think I still would have been short, but I definitely stripped probably like 8 screws, maybe 9. I even pre-drilled to avoid cracking the 2x4s on the workbenches, but I still stripped a couple screws. I didn't realize, again, I have not done, like, I built a workbench at my parents' house 15 years ago. Maybe not 15 years ago, 10 years ago. And then I don't think I've touched a tool or touched any like woodworking stuff since. And I certainly didn't know that the box of screws would come with a bit for the drill. So I was using the Phillips head bit that I had, and it was a little bit small for the larger screws, which are 2.5 inch that I used to hold the 2x4s together. And so that was contributing to stripping. And then like this morning, I think I was doing a count to see how many screws I had, and I dumped it, and that's when I saw the bit. And so I started using that for this morning's bench, and I think I only stripped 1 versus the like 4 to 6 I stripped yesterday. So you live and you learn. I didn't know that. I don't know how common that is. So going to Home Depot to get screws, and then after that going to Harbor Freight, because casters are stupid expensive. I am looking for 3-inch roughly is what was recommended by the creator of the bench, 3-inch rubber casters. And I saw online Home Depot had a 4-pack for like $22, and they're apparently only online. And I went in store, was like, I'm going to Home Depot for all the rest of the stuff, I'll just get the casters. Well, they are way more expensive. Like Harbor Freight casters, the ones that I'm gonna get, I think are $5 each. And the similar or comparable ones at Home Depot were like $12 each. And each cart needs 4, and I need 8 today and 8 more in like a week and a half when I build 2 more. And so I'm like, that is a insane difference. So I held off on casters. I gotta go to Harbor Freight to get casters. And then I'll probably post a photo of me laying on the workbenches. Okay, driving, nice. Okay, sweet. I was gonna say, like, I've never traveled with well, that's not true. I've driven with an animal. I've never flown with an animal, but I would imagine that's much more difficult. My partner's name is also Erin. She's headed out for a 10-day trip. Day 5 will be the day I'll have to stop myself from booking a flight to visit. Yeah, we, since my travel days for trade shows, we haven't really been apart other than her like staying a night at her parents' house before we moved, or the night before we got married. We obviously, or I don't know if it's obvious or not, but we didn't see each other. But yeah, it would be weird. It'd be weird. But when your spouse or whatever partner gets back from the trip, it's always super fun. And like, as cheesy as the like saying is, like, distance makes the heart grow fonder, like, it is kind of true. When you see someone every day, it's like, not that you don't appreciate them by any means, but like, it's just different. And then when you don't see them, you start to remember like how awesome it is having that person. So I'm sure it'll be tough, but hopefully she'll have an awesome trip, and you know, the 10 days, keep yourself busy, do 3D printing stuff. That's what I always do. I'm always so busy that I have a hard time like being like, oh, like I miss this person. I'm like, I'm all I can focus on is all the projects. Hey, what's going on, Tom? US native just, oh, okay. Most Phillips, I bought a motorhome so I can have the dogs with me while traveling. That's awesome. All right, I think we're probably gonna call it. We are basically at the 3-hour mark, which is actually longer than I had planned on streaming today, but it was a fun day. Like I as much as I enjoy the building, it's always really fun to have a day, at least in between doing the next project or next thing, where we just kind of chill and talk today about the world and travel and dogs, but talk 3D printing, talk about the projects and stuff like that. So I'm stoked that the RatRig is done for now. This is probably the way I'm going to leave it until I do my full video on it on the main channel in probably a couple weeks time. I feel like by building it by each nut and bolt, I have a pretty good idea of what this machine is and entails, but I will definitely do some more printing on it so that way I've got footage and I can show, you know, some of the prints that came off of it. But yeah, massive thank you to everybody. There's also like some insane gifted members today. Let me pull this up really quick here. Let's see. Okay, so Luke with the 10 gifted subs. Absolutely insane. Thank you, thank you. Where is, let's see. Panzer, thank you very much for the 5 gifted subs. It was 15 subs there. G-Funny gifted a sub right when we went live, and it took like an hour. Thank you, G-Funny, as always. I really appreciate it. Lisa, thank you for the donation, and everybody else that hung out in chat. And if you have not, please hit the like button. It really, really helps out. I appreciate it. And yeah, and next week we're going to be unboxing and building the Sovol SV04, which is the IDEX printer, and I'm excited for that. Most of the IDEX printers I've used are pretty expensive, and I got to use like the BCN machines a lot at Matter Hackers, and I thought that they were really pretty machines, but the calibration was not great, and I was always having to like tweak something. And then I reviewed the Wido X40 last year, which was a Kickstarter printer that was an IDEX machine, and it blew me away. I was like, the calibration stuff built into the screen and the auto bed leveling and sort of like offset stuff, it was really impressive. So I have high hopes for this. I am planning on updating the firmware right away. It just came from China, so I'm assuming it's up to date, but I want to make sure it is, because I've been told that when it first launched, the firmware needed some work, and it's better now. But it's direct drive, and the Wido was not direct drive. And so the direct drive aspect has me really excited for potentially doing some, I've seen TPU with PVA, and I'm not saying it works well, but it would be really cool to be able to print some like TPU stuff that's just not possible without like a water soluble support material or some other breakaway support material. So it'll be fun. We'll do some experimenting, and it'll be a pretty laid back stream because it's not super technical, although I'm saying that, so things will probably be super complicated. Anyways, I hope everyone has a fantastic rest of your week. Again, thank you all. Yeah, until next